wide world of sports is going on here.
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tabloid said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes.
Hope you're having a good one. It's chilly out there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Got a little bit of rain, maybe.
We definitely got a spray in.
Yeah.
Yeah, good enough to wet the ground.
Yeah, I was hoping for a little more. A little less wind, a little more rain.
You have to make things humid.
Yeah.
It was coming down pretty good, mid-afternoon yesterday, like 5:30, 6-ish.
Yeah, for a little bit there. And I think around 9:30, I think I heard some rain on the roof.
A little bit, yeah.
But
the wind told the story yesterday.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we're going to have more of that today.
Mm-hmm.
Today's not really good weather-wise. Like, yeah. I'm looking at the weather, and I'm not liking it. Hey, not about this.
Not a fan?
50s, windy. There's nothing good about today, weather-wise.
There's nothing good about who you are or what you do.
Weather-wise, maybe I should clarify. Yeah, so what I'm saying is go back to bed if you can.
Today's a wash. We're calling it.
Let's go back to sleep.
Yeah, if boss gets mad, just tell him, hey, the morning show guys said we could do it.
It's good sleeping weather.
That's right. Backside of your eyelids.
That's right.
So that's good viewing.
Happy Tuesday. Yes. Well, it's, then you realize, I got to do this, and this today, and then you have to turn around and get dressed. So sorry about that.
Yesterday did change pretty drastically, pretty quickly. Like it was all dark and dreary like it is right now.
Yeah.
And then like an hour later, I was like blue skies and sunshine.
Yeah.
I was like, huh.
Nice, not nice.
Yeah.
Not nice, not nice. Yeah, it's kind of different. So good news is the week will warm up as we progress through it.
Oh, good.
Just today's not so great. So
fun.
Yeah. Like tomorrow, it's going to be in the 60s again. Less windy, little less.
I had to bribe my daughter to get out of bed at mom's house. Like she's on the phone this morning.
Oh, yeah?
If you get out of bed, get up, have a good day today, maybe we go to the park. If the weather's okay. So I guess the inclement weather might actually be her downfall. Don't tell her I said that.
It's kind of cool that your kid really loves going to the park.
Yeah.
I like that. It's good to see kids going outside and running around and like doing things like that.
It's good incentive. She's all tableted out. She's had her fill.
Good.
Yeah, that's the secret. That's really the secret.
Just let them use it.
Just let them use it to until they don't want to anymore.
Or they grow a third arm.
Yeah. You just let them use it till they get burnt out on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a tactic.
Well, follow me for more parenting advice.
Oh, man.
Turns out if you just put their food in a dispenser at the corner, you only have to refill it like 3 times a week. Right. Parenting tips.
The school of gerbil. I got them a big wheel.
Yeah. They love it. They get all kinds of exercise. You really want your kids to do what you want them to do? Bribe them with toys and games. Huh? Parenting tips with Sean Smalls. Yeah, don't do any of these things. I'm totally kidding.
Thing is, that's actual parenting. I've seen enough.
I know
seen enough to know that that's a thing. But anyway, happy Tuesday, everybody.
Look, sometimes there's no other options.
I get it.
Yeah. A 5-pack of Hot Wheels cars, that's the nuclear option for me sometimes.
I keep one in the back pocket just in case.
Just for such a time as this.
Oh, speaking of, I don't know what reminded me of it. Mm-hmm. I saw some McDonald's news.
Really?
Yeah. I think you might be aware of this, or if you're not, you should be soon.
Okay.
Well, I'm about to tell you, so you don't really know.
You're about to know.
But McDonald's, beginning March 31st, for a limited time, will be bringing back a dipping sauce that was from its past. And this is the third time it's come back.
Are they bringing back Szechuan sauce?
They are bringing it back.
I have not heard about this.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, beginning March 31st.
For what?
For a limited time.
Is this a Rick and Morty thing?
No, and it's only going to be available through the app.
I'll be honest, dude. I have not watched Rick and Morty in a long time.
Yeah, I think initially it was through Rick and Morty, like in 2018 or 17,
the
whatever that was.
initial comeback.
Yeah,
was from an episode of.
It originally came out when Mulan, when they were doing a promotion for Mulan, early 2000s, late 90s. I don't remember when that came out. And it came out, and I guess there was some commercials that people got a little ticked off about, saying it was a little too racially insensitive.
Sure.
But they stopped the promotion like after the movie ended, the Mulan movie. And then Rick and Morty started a whole thing back up.
Yep.
And for a little bit, they re-released it for a limited time. Well, they've now decided they're going to do it again. March 31st, for a limited time, it's available only through the app. And you can only get it through Chicken Nuggets. You can purchase like a 5-pack of the apps, and they all or the little cups.
Right.
Now they also going to have a gold top with a collectible like S, like you could spell out Szechuan or something. With all yeah, they're doing all that. So it's a collectible deal. But
no, I've not heard any of this. What's the tie-in? Is it for, because I know they're redoing Mulan.
I don't think it's a tie-in for anything.
Then again, I think they've already put that out.
Yeah, it's you can get and it's with an order of McNuggets. It says, unlike 1988, you'll only be able to get your hands on the sauce by ordering through the McDonald's app. You can also buy up to 5 sauces, a separate item, via the app. The sauces will be in limited edition packaging with 5 brilliant golden foil designs that, when placed next to each other, spell out Szechuan. When McDonald's brought it back in 2017, fans were quick to rush to the nearest location. McDonald's made the sauce available no longer and in larger quantities. 20 million cups of the sauce were available at this time, according to reports. But
my question is, but why though?
And by the way, if you happen to have one of those cup sauces from 2018, they're being sold online for as much as $420 right now.
Well, you get that, right?
Oh,
that's
do
a
get
meme
that.
price.
That is a meme price. I get that. I understand.
That's
April
pretty cute.
20th. I get the connection.
According to this, the intense reaction to the great Szechuan shortage of 17 prompted show creator Justin Roiland to express sympathies to McDonald's workers stressed out by fans lining up for its sauce. "It's a dipping sauce, guys," said Roiland. "I was bummed out, really, for the workers. The whole thing was bad on every side." Even the famously reclusive Frank Ocean had some thoughts on the situation.
I'm not listening till Billy Ocean chimes in.
Szechuan sauce queen, and we're sharing while dipping.
Wrong Ocean. I want the other Ocean to tell me what I think about Szechuan sauce. But there you go. So beginning March 31st, start creeping around McDonald's looking for those Szechuan sauces.
This is how they need to do it. No Rick and Morty tie-in. Forget about all that. Just slowly, quietly slip it in when we're not noticing that. Then maybe we'll avoid some of the panic.
Yeah, but we'll remind folks as we get closer to the 31st date.
The thing is, I became ashamed as a Rick and Morty fan.
Yeah.
After, because I went out and yes, I stood in line and got my sauce and got the whole thing. But as a fan, I felt ashamed watching some of those videos of like the dude running in there with his shirt on his head looking like Cornholio, but he's screaming out. He goes, "I'm Pickle Rick!" And he throws himself to the ground and starts like I was embarrassed. I'm like, people.
I can see that.
This is a reflection.
You know what I need to do? I've never tried the Szechuan sauce.
Have you not?
I've not had it.
It's real good.
So I think I want to procure some just to say. Now, I'm not going to lie. Because they list the ingredients, and there's one in there I'm not a fan of. Like in their Szechuan sauce, let me go back up in the commercial here. It's combined soy, garlic, ginger, and mild vinegar.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
I'm not a ginger guy. That's the one thing I'm not too down with. So
it's not super heavy. Like, from what I remember having
I'll try it, but if it's ginger heavy, I'm not going to like it.
It's kind of like, okay, if you have to compare it to anything, it's kind of like if you combined their sweet and sour sauce with like maybe like a barbecue, kind of.
I'm down with that.
Kind of.
I like
it's
both.
a little like.
I'm
that.
a fan of their sweet and sour. Sweet and sour and hot mustard combo is my favorite of all time. I've said this before.
I love me some hot mustard. I've never actually tried the combo of the sweet and sour and the hot mustard.
I usually get one of each, and I dip.
One side and one side.
Or I
The Darth Maul technique.
or I will go one nugget, and then my next nugget's in hot.
Okay.
You know, I back and forth it.
Right.
Depends on how OCD my brain is.
I guess you could take 2 nuggets, make sure you have either 2 boots, 2 bells, 2 bones, or 2 bows, and then go in like this and go in like that.
Oh yeah.
You double stab.
Yeah.
You got to get it same time though.
Of course, you look a little weird.
Yeah, and this is also going to be a meme now.
Yeah, isolate that.
It's giftable.
Tanner. Let's get that back and forth.
If we could just turn that into a back and forth. Soundless is fine.
Hey, I'm thinking about. I really don't have time to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it next hour.
All right.
Something I'm thinking about. It could blow up in my face, but I'm wondering if this might be kind of fun. I got something yesterday that kind of reminded me, and then Gene and I were talking. It's like, yeah, this would be kind of a good idea. I need to let it rattle and marinate some more, but I might discuss it on air next hour.
Okay.
Just an idea I'm percolating.
Is this going to go the same way as the chocolate hummus that I was promised 2 weeks ago?
I got that at the house. I should have brought that in today. Oh, I'm so dumb. Send me a text and I'll do it. I just keep forgetting.
Honestly, it just popped into my head. I'm like, I want to bring this up now.
I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to bring it in tomorrow. We'll try it. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We're going to replay some interviews this hour next. Elaine Mayfield joined us from Leadership Roswell Alumni Association yesterday. They're looking for, they're nominating their awards for their outstanding leaders, things like that. Yep. And they're taking nominations now through April 15th. So we're going to play that interview for you. I thought I don't know, maybe I'm hungry this morning. But I'm going to replay Chef Anthony Noble's interview from Valley Cafe. He joined us a couple weeks ago talking about that. And I figured, about that time, people are going to be good and hungry. So we're going to play that interview about 8:15. Sorry about that. It's going to make you hungry.
That's a game changer of a burrito.
It is good.
That thing is nuts.
It is tasty. And the soup, the cordon bleu soup, I could put that in an IV and just shoot it right in.
I wouldn't even say that the burrito's the size of a baby's arm holding an apple. It's the size of a newborn.
Yeah. Can you get a potato and ham through an IV?
If you blend it up enough, I would imagine you probably could.
Let's see if we can get that happen.
I wouldn't recommend it, but we could probably make it happen.
But so we're going to play that interview. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, James Tucker from Celebrate Recovery is going to join us. They've got an event coming up here in a couple weeks. We'll talk all about that with them. And, of course, talk a little bit about Celebrate Recovery as well, too. Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the news of the local and national variety. Here in just a few minutes, we'll do your Smiley Wooten's livestock report recap from yesterday in just a few, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Let's go ahead and take a look at that weather. I wish I had better news for today, but it does get better later in the week.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We may get a few clouds off and on today behind a cold front that came through earlier. We will be a little on the cool side with our afternoon high staying in the mid-50s, and the wind will be gusty all day. For the overnight hours, some clouds and down to the low 30s, and then we'll start warming back up on Wednesday. Lots of sun and our high in the low 60s, 70s Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 39 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 60%. Winds currently out of the north at 8 miles per hour. Going to be windy today and cooler. Partly cloudy. Could see some blowing dust here during the day. But a high of 53. Winds will be out of the north at around 20 miles per hour. Could see gusts today as high as 30 miles per hour. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of stinky weather-wise. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of 34. Winds will be out of the northwest, 15 to 20, dropping down 5 to 10 after midnight. A little bit warmer for you Wednesday. Mostly sunny. Highs around 61. Still a little breezy. Winds out of the north, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 30. Northwest winds, 15 to 20. Once again, dropping down 5 to 10 after midnight. Thursday, we're warming up nicely. Sunny and 77. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny and 81. And then looking at your weekend, Saturday, sunny and 85, mostly sunny and 87 on Sunday. Yeah, we're going to be pushing 90 for the weekend. But today, not so much, 50 with 30-mile-an-hour winds. So sorry about that. But look ahead, warmer weather, nicer temperatures on the way. All right, it is 7:20. We're gonna do your livestock report recap, quick commercial break, and then we're gonna play our interview with Elaine Mayfield from Leadership Roswell Alumni Association. That's coming up on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,193 head of cattle sold on Monday on a steady to higher market with excellent buyer attendance compared to last week. Stocker calves sold steady, feeder cattle 2 to 4 higher, packer cows 3 higher, packer bulls $5 to $10 higher, 3 to 400 pound steers 209.50 to 216, 3 to 400 pound heifers 166 184, 4 to 500 pound steers 195 209.50, 4 to 500 pound heifers 160 166, 5 to 600 pound steers 168 195, 5 to 600 pound heifers 146 160, 6 700 pound steers 158 and a half 168, 6 to 700 pound heifers 140 146, 7 800 pound steers 139 158.50, 7 800 pound heifers 130 140, packer cows 87 to 96, canner and cutter cows 70 to 80, packer bulls $1 to 113, feeder bulls 85 to 92, cow calf pairs not tested this week, and top half the bred cows $1,000 to $1,250 per head. Remember, this is the top of the market, and prices range down from this according to quality, condition, and feel. We do appreciate the business. We'll talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
If your tires are flat, need your car fixed, our reviews are better than mixed at Big O. At Big O Tires. We do the job fast and with a smile. Whatever the problem, we go the extra mile at Big O. At Big O Tires. Trusted service, no need to lie. Hop online, our reviews are high at Big O. At Big O Tires. Unbeatable service in all our stores, and that's why we get such high scores at Big O. At Big O Tires.
You can trust the team at Big O Tires for great service and even better deals. Come in today and save up to $100 instantly on select in-stock sets of Cooper, Nitto, and Pirelli brand tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra, required on all 4 tires. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. Not valid with other offers. Valid at participating locations. Expires 3/27/2022.
Get smoking hot deals during the sizzling savings event at Roswell Nissan. Like a 2015 Ford F-150 for just $307 a month, or a 2010 Honda Odyssey for just $149 a month. And join Roswell Nissan March 26 from 10 to 1 for free food, stuff for the kiddos, and your chance to win a Masterbuilt 30-inch electric smoker. 1 entry for stopping by, 3 entries with a test drive or service, and 5 entries with a purchase. Drawing March 26th at 1, must be present to win. Get a Home Depot gift card with a test drive and a portable grill and a chance at the cash grab just for stopping by. On now at Roswell Nissan. 2111 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Slugs have 4 noses, but no fingers to pick them. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, wearing her Leadership Roswell Alumni Association hat today, Elaine Mayfield back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
She does wear many hats. She has
I do have a hat.
A Galacticon hat, a Historical Society hat, a Leadership Roswell Alumni hat.
Dogs
hat.
Club. Yeah.
I'm missing some more, too, but there's a bunch more hats.
I'm trying to learn to say no. Doesn't work.
Not succeeding too well, huh?
Not at all.
That's right. That's why, that's probably why you're part of Leadership Roswell Alumni Association, because really at the end of the day, that's just a group of people. They've all gone through the class and are Leadership Roswell alumni, Leadership Roswell graduates. But there's a reason that they got in the program in the first place. These are people that really want the best for our community, and so it does not surprise me, as a graduate, you're still doing 27 different things.
Yeah, I kind of like it. We have, I believe it's pushing 700 graduate from Leadership Roswell, which is huge.
That is great, because you figure, 30 per class times 30 some years. We're getting up there on graduate numbers here right now. So that's the Leadership Roswell program. That's what, if you're not familiar with it, I'm a graduate. Elaine's a graduate. We have A matter of fact, we'll have our new class forming here in the summer. We got our current class; they'll graduate here in May, and but this is an opportunity for folks. They take this class and they learn about Roswell. They learn about leadership skills. It's been going on for 30 plus years. It's the talk of the state. It's a great program. But one of the ancillary things is the Alumni Association. It's made up of folks that are graduates, and their main focus is to support Leadership Roswell, help out, make help cover costs, help just do whatever with the class there and keep the program going.
Absolutely.
But also part of our charge is leadership in our community, helping helping youth learn more about leadership skills.
I think that's one of our main pushes is teen leadership.
Yes.
And that's happening now.
Yeah. We're
today.
They are going through that as we speak, matter of factly. But
exactly.
But one of the other big parts is recognizing our leaders in our community. And every year, COVID's kind of thrown a wrench in the last couple here.
It has.
But every year, for a long time now, we've been...
This is our 25th.
25th. We've been using this to honor various people that are leaders in our community. And what we love about it, these are all from you, the public. We don't pick these people. You guys do. But we need your help doing that.
Right. Yeah, anyone is allowed or encouraged to nominate someone. It's a very simple form, and you can add as much background as you wish.
Yeah.
I've gotten some that are 7-8 pages long, Lori, that are wonderful.
Well, that just proves they're passionate about that person that they're talking about.
I love hers.
That's a good thing. That's what you want.
Yes, it is. And then some that are, just the one page filled out.
Yeah.
So.
But every year we've been doing this, and we'll talk about some of the past recipients and things.
Yes, I have the full list.
But we've got 4 different categories of awards we're looking for. A Lifetime Achievement Award, and obviously this is someone that's committed really their life serving Roswell and doing things. People
it's all service. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's kind of, those folks have been 20, 30 years at various organizations in town, and just people that pretty much everyone in town knows, I know them from fair, or I know them from church, or I know them from whatever, it's those type folks. So that's our lifetime. That's where our people have been doing it a long time. We have our Outstanding Leader Award, which, that's pretty, who stands out? It could be in your church, could be in your work, could be in your civic organization you're involved with. Who are those people in those groups that you follow that are just stand out as leaders? People that always show up, or always, making things happen despite, it looks pretty bleak. These people are like, nah, we'll figure it out when they get. That's who we're looking for there. The award to Commitment to Youth. We're looking for those folks that spend a lot of time and a lot of passion working with our youth. Could be coaches, could be teachers, could be.
Yeah, and as a trend, we generally have more apply or nominate for that category, which is interesting.
Yeah. Well, we always say the kids are our future, and I think, and a lot of us get involved with kids because we had them ourselves, and so that kind of sometimes defaultly puts you in those circles a little bit. But then you get those people that stick around. Their kids have grown or outlived the program, and here that person's still mentoring the students some way, shape, or form there. That's the kind of people we're looking for there. And then our Leadership Roswell Alumni Award, and this is
the newest one.
Yeah, and we're looking for post or alumni, people that have graduated the program that are continuing to make a difference
in the program.
Right.
It's a little different. It's not so much making a difference in the community, but somebody's working for the Leadership Roswell Alumni Program and continues to
people that have had an impact on why this program has had the success it's had over the years and continue to have that success.
Right.
And so that one's a little more internal for us.
It is.
But if you're a leadership graduate, a Roswell graduate, then we'd love to hear your opinions on some of that if you're part of this. So
and to get involved.
We got plenty of the board for the alumni meets every month, and we're not as a busy board as some other boards, but as far as because we really 2-3 things a year are kind of our big things, and so we're focused on those.
I think also we have very strong committees.
Yeah,
and
we do.
Some groups have just a strong central control.
Yeah.
But we have committees that are very strong, and I think that's one reason that we're so busy.
Yeah, like our candidate forum part, that's another facet of what Leadership Roswell Alumni Association does.
The teen leadership.
Yeah, teen leadership.
The awards.
And this award, these are really our 3 big tent pole things that the communities are aware of. I mean, we got so much going on. And of course, just supporting and promoting the Leadership Roswell program. It
right.
is all of us are disciples of it. All of us believe in that product and believe in the leadership of it. This is, I can't not mention Rick Kraft when we talk about Leadership Roswell. The reason we have it is because that man has almost single-handedly kept it going over these years, or at least being a presence to put strength and stability in the program.
Right.
And so obviously, he's been honored many times in this and does not deserve enough honoring as far as I'm concerned. Keep plugging him in for awards because he deserves every one of them. And he's a man that I think is a good example to our community and what being a good Roswellian means. I think he kind of epitomizes that to me. So yeah.
Right. All goes to service.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now we're looking to have the awards banquet in June timeframe.
June 23rd.
June 23rd will be the banquet itself, but we're coming up on the deadline here for our nominations for the award.
Well, April 15th.
Yeah, we want to get that done here within the next 3 weeks, basically.
Yes.
So if you can, we'll tell you. You can basically. You can get a form nominated or send a nomination to an email address. We'll give you all that here in just a little bit. But we want to make sure we want to get, if you know those people that just stand out in your, maybe it's a coach for your kids, or maybe it's someone at your church, maybe it's maybe you're a Kiwanian or an Eagle or one of these civic organizations, and there's some folks in there that are really stepping up and doing things that impress you. These are the kind of people we would love to have you nominate and talk about this. As far as the nomination goes, how's that process? Is it just write a little, basically a little a form or a paragraph
right,
or an
there's
essay
actually
on
a one-page nomination form that just has the name of the nominee, the person nominating, and a contact phone number.
Okay.
And then a short biography, and then how this nominee meets the requirements for this, because, again, there are 4 categories.
Yeah.
So that's just the basic form.
Good deal.
Most people will attach another written, and I've had them handwritten, I've had them typed.
A personalized,
just more detail.
Sure, something that's not necessarily cookie cutter. Something saying, this is why I'm passionate about this.
And some of them will have, up to 7 pages of pictures and written materials, Lori, and
a whole dissertation.
I absolutely love her.
That's awesome.
And she was a winner of our alumni award. So
again, another committed
very important.
person.
Yes.
This person is very much committed to our community and the leadership program, the Roswell program. She is a graduate and has helped instruct and
she
shared
was a right-hand man for Rick for years.
Yeah, and helped foster the program for many years too. So.
Yes, and she was last year's alumni winner.
Yeah, so she can't win that one. Sorry, you can't win it 2 in a row. I don't know. Well, I guess technically there's no. But
I guess technically you could.
You could, but we do like to give some love to everybody. So. So maybe you're thinking, oh man, she's already been picked.
We do have people that have won the outstanding and then win lifetime.
Yeah, that makes sense, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, because if you're getting a lifetime achievement, odds are pretty good you've been doing this stuff for a long time. And
Marlon Wells is
you've been
one.
recognized for those things. Yeah.
And he's done everything.
Yeah. Well, and those people learn that because they've. And here's the thing, and this is what we love. Every one of these people we're talking about, they don't do it for these awards. These is all just surprises or some. I mean. I've seen all kinds of reactions over the years. We get, and most of the people are like, I don't deserve this, or are very humble about it, or
absolutely
very much like, I don't. Thank you. This is very nice, but this is not why I do it. I'm just doing it to try to make sure people, you know what I mean? They don't want to be in the spotlight sometimes. They kind of feel like I'm not here and I get that. I know when you do things, and my job is one of those jobs where people tend to do that kind of stuff, and I get it. You just look. I'm just trying to help someone, and thank you for the recognition. But that's how most of these people act. They're kind of very humble about it. So it's on you to talk them up. That's why when we talk about these filling out these applications and doing that personal touch, talk them up, because 9 times out of 10 these people don't talk themselves up. They lead by action, or they do their thing and keep their nose to the grindstone. That's why we want your help. We want you to come out and brag on these people. Talk about all the great things they do, the little things, the ancillary things, the things that just happen. because they make it happen, and we the world don't notice it because they just keep doing it. That's the kind of stuff we want you to bring to our attention, so we can honor those people and say just a little thank you, a little dinner, a little award appreciation, and some recognition on that night.
That's right. We've had them interviewed with you on the radio. We've had them cover page in the newspaper. That's the recognition. That is really important.
We want to get that spotlight. We want to,
and especially if they are humble, because that's the only way to do it.
We want to brag on them. We want it because the Leadership Roswell program goal is to make more of these people. And so when these people do that, we want to sing from the highest rooftop to tell people this is the good things that are happening. If you want to do good things, be like these people. And that's what we really want to do. So spotlight them and showcase the citizenship and character this community has. So,
right.
Yeah.
And I think last year we had like 19 total nominations.
Yeah.
And obviously there were 4 winners. So several of those have already been renominated.
Good.
They've contacted me. Can we? Oh yes, definitely.
I want this to be a problem for you guys.
Yes.
I want it to
you
where
you guys, you're on the board.
I know, but as far as the ones that actually pick, the committee that decides.
It's the board.
Yeah. Who's on this here? I want to make it a hard decision because we do have great people, and we just need some folks to step up and recognize them here. So.
And again, if you handwrite it and take a picture of it and text it to me, I'm fine.
Yeah.
We just need that information.
We need
because there are people that are nominated, especially in the youth category, that we don't know. Not everybody knows.
Well, there's so many great things going on with youth in our community that's really hard to see all those adults and people that are behind the scenes making that happen each and
teachers,
every day.
dance teachers, character counts, youth sports.
Sure. Even your coaches and booster parents and all those
youth
folks.
Sports are huge.
I imagine in the land of COVID we've lived in for the last 3 years, those people have made huge mountains move just so these kids can do some things during this
Absolutely.
time. And we want to salute those people.
Right, make it a little bit normal for them.
Yeah, exactly. So, and the fact that we haven't actually been able to sit down and have a meal together for the last couple of years doing this, we kind of want to make this year extra more special.
Right, we're going to bring back the 20 and 21 winners. There's 4 in each of those years, and acknowledge them. We do have a banquet set up at NMMI at the VMV Hall, which we've used for years.
Yeah.
It's a nice, large, wonderful ambiance.
Yeah.
So,
well, that and just the traditions that go on at NMMI.
Yes.
bring a part of that dinner and that night.
Right.
And
formality. A little bit of formality.
It kind of fits the vein of what it is all about because they're training leaders over there just like Leadership Roswell's doing.
Yeah.
Just the same end game right there. It really is.
Yeah, and again, the teen leadership is being held there today and tomorrow. It's a wonderful program we couldn't probably do without.
Yeah, we could not have a teen leadership program without the work and assistance from New Mexico Military Institute.
Right.
Their expertise and leadership, that program, it's their knowledge and wisdom that they're imparting. We're just trying to be a conduit to get people to be a part of it.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's what they've been doing for a very long time, giving that expertise to some other youth in our communities.
And scholarships.
And money.
Money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that helps so much right now.
Big thank you to all those folks that have been donating money to them. They've got a good year as far as I think they're going to get a lot of kids are going to earn some money for this because of all the generous support from people. We're always looking for more. If you hear and be like, hey, I'd like to donate more money for even this year or next year, reach out either to Elaine or anybody. We'll put you in the right touch with the right people here. But the only reason we have such success there is because we have great people contributing money and making these scholarships more available to more and more kids. Because the more money we donate, it's donated to us, the more money we give away. That's just how it works. And
that's a good point of contact. We do have a Facebook page. It's very active.
Yeah. You shoot a message on there, and someone will get back to you as soon as humanly possible there. So
President Hobbit.
That's right. He's on it. But, so we'd love to have folks support. But in the meantime, we're asking for your help. We want good people. We want you to nominate these folks. If you know someone that's been doing this their whole lives, please nominate them for our Lifetime Achievement Award. If you just see someone that's at your church or at your work or at your civic group or anything that really stands out as being a leader, being someone that's making things happen that maybe wouldn't happen without their support. We want you to recognize those people and name them for an outstanding leader. If this commitment to youth, these coaches, these teachers, these pastors, all these folks that are working with our youth, nominate the ones that you think are really standing out and doing great work there. And then finally, for our alumni and for our folks that are involved with leadership, Roswell, please, we need your input too. Who amongst us is standing out and going above and beyond? And we'd like to know your opinion on that too. So please get us that information before April the 15th.
15th.
Yeah, that's our drop dead due date to get that information.
Yeah, we have to do ahead of time because we have to notify the winners, vote on them, notify them, and then they notify their families.
Sure.
And they
Give them
will
time
have
to bring
children come from far and wide to see their parents get this
Absolutely.
award.
Plus, we've got, awards and things to put together, and we kind of need that information ahead of time to get the names right and all that stuff. So it allows us some time because June will be here like in a minute.
Right. Of course, that has to be set up way ahead of time.
I know. We'll be blinking here in a minute, and then kids will be graduating, and we're talking about summer all of a sudden. So.
Exactly. I heard you talking about spring earlier, and it's like, wow.
Yeah. We just got through spring break, really, and now I think Artesia's is doing theirs this week or something. Or was it last week? They're a week different than us. I just know. I can't remember.
So they'll all go down to South Texas and get COVID. And
there you go. Bring it back.
What is it in the new one, Deltacron?
I don't know. I can't keep up with the names. I don't know. I think they just randomly throw a dart at Transformer, the cartoon Transformer.
Yes.
Whatever name they land on is what they, all right, it's Galacticon, it's Decepticon, and we got, Optimus Prime through Fleet String or whatever now,
Love you throwing the Galacticon. Thank you. I'll be back next week.
Slight pun there, and it's a little
I'll be back next week on that one.
We'll talk some Galacticon here, which that's the same weekend as UFO stuff?
Yes.
So when you're doing all your UFO festival
75th anniversary of the crash.
Make sure you include visiting the Convention and Civic Center for this year's Galacticon. It'll be back there at the convention center there, and look for it to be bigger, better, awesome.
Always.
It's and now. Are you keeping the steampunk theme and everything as part of this? Or
we had a strong steampunk group here that's kind of faded a bit with people moving and
so maybe
changing.
Broaden it out a little bit.
So we broadened it out a few years ago. It's sci-fi and fantasy, and we do have the film festival.
Okay. Very good. So, if you want to come out in your steampunk, or if you want to come out,
we have plenty of steampunkers
there's
that still come.
A subset culture of them that are part, and I know that's within cultures because depending on what part of steampunk you're in, maybe you're more into like the Will Smith movie, that Wild Wild West, Jules Verne style,
right?
Or maybe you're more into something a little deeper, where it's like a specific Civil War genre.
Right.
I know they get into subsects and everything else too.
Absolutely, but that makes it a lot of fun, and it's kind of ageless, which I like.
Yeah. Well, it's future with veins from the past. It's like
Wild Wild West is a very good example. of it.
That using to create modern things with old timey steam technology.
Right.
It's kind of like think of it as all your modern conveniences, but using the brain that the locomotive steam engine is the wave of the future as far as moving things. And that's,
gears.
Yeah, gears and things. So all of their futuristic things, their guns and things like that, are all looking like something out of the 1850s that was designed with big gears and steam and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So that's kind of the introductory cursory into steampunk.
Yes.
So.
I hope we've piqued your interest. I'll be back.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We'll talk more about that. In the meantime, Leadership Roswell, please get these applications in. April 15th is the deadline. Now, you can get them online. You can probably, will you find them on our Facebook?
Our Facebook page.
Okay. So if you look for, I always type in LRAA in the search, and it'll be one of the first things that pops up, Leadership Roswell Alumni Association. Click on that, like and follow us if you like, and that way you'll find an application for the nominations of our leaders in our community, or if you want to learn more about the next class here, or if you're an alumni and want to get involved
and
serve on the
sometimes we'll
board
bring
or
in a
serve?
speaker or something that's a leadership person that is just wonderful to listen to.
And sometimes we get little ancillary opportunities or things for folks to be a part of it. But we'd encourage you to like and follow that. But
yes,
you can also shoot an email to condor@dfn.com.
That's me.
That's Elaine here, and say either here's my application or here's my nomination, or hey, can I get one of those forms? Can you email me?
Or I want to join.
Or I want to be a
Alumni.
member. Yeah, I want to be. I graduated
I'll put you on the list.
2017, and I'd like to be a part of the class, or graduated in 2012 or 2000, whatever. You
Right.
can be a
We
part of
are
it.
at this time. I'm trying to make sure that I have a proper list that people move on, they leave town, they pass. And so I'm trying to get a really clean list on that. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And by the way, if you ever happen to look at the alumni list of the Leadership Roswell alumni, the full list, it really is a who's who of Roswell.
It is.
Past mayors, county commissioners, presidents of college, police chiefs, sheriffs, you name it. They've all gone through the doors.
Yeah, the first class was 84.
Mm-hmm. I imagine there's probably even a few higher up, some state. And
I think in that first class, there was only about a dozen people.
Okay.
But Del Journey, Judy Stubbs.
Yeah.
I mean,
leaders
right
in
there.
our community.
Yeah, right there.
Exactly. But and so really is a who's who. So if nothing else, if you're looking to make a difference here, consider signing up for this 2022 class. We'll start pitching that heavier in June timeframe.
Right.
But
It's the networking that you get, plus the background training, is worth it. It's only like once a month. For 9 months.
A Friday usually on
month.
average the first Friday, but sometimes it moves around. The first Friday of the month, and it's all day
then
that
one
Friday.
trip, Santa Fe or
last
Ruidoso.
couple of
depending.
years it's not been Santa Fe, but
It's been
hopefully,
Ruidoso, but they've had fun.
But they've spoke with past governors. They get all kinds of great opportunities of that.
So
trip, too.
it doesn't take a huge amount of time. It really doesn't. A lot of people say, "Oh, I don't know if I could do one." Take a day off work. Oh yeah,
it can be done.
And your employer will benefit as well.
And I'm telling you, all the 30 people in your class are equally busy as you are. These are all leaders in our
and
community.
you become fast friends.
Mm-hmm. You don't realize how close you become, and because you do work. I mean, it's a leadership program. When we're not learning about Roswell and all the cool assets and resources this community has, you are learning leadership schools, how to be a leader, what types of leadership, how to pulling some Kenny Rogers here, but as a leader, know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. That's what leadership.
That's a good one. I like that. I should learn that.
Yeah.
I graduated in '96.
Okay.
So I've been active since
So you've been there for a while. So
absolutely. And the people that were in my class, I could name every one of them.
Nice.
It's just odd, that you just develop
those
that
bonds
kind of
you
a
form.
bond.
Yeah. And I imagine there's probably a few out of that class to this day you still work with closely on various projects and things like that. That's what this program is. It's as much as learning, it's also the connections and
it's when the kids that I worked with that bothers me. They're children.
Yeah, you're like, I graduated
with your mother.
It's like, oh yeah, weren't you in like elementary school? Yeah, I get that. My wife being a teacher, we run through that a lot now, and this is her 25th year of teaching.
Yes, so now she's in that next generation.
And those classes, her first classes, those kids she taught in second grade are now parents, mothers, fathers with kids, jobs. One was a police officer he ran into the other day and was one of her students.
Yeah,
and he's now a police officer there with the RPD, and was like, ran into him at a restaurant or something. I don't remember what it was. But that's what you experience on that.
That's
but she
what
does
makes
the same
Roswell awesome. It's the right size.
Yeah.
You run into these people and it's...
Yeah. You see a difference in what you did years ago. And what I mean by that, the impact you made. And now you're seeing the fruits of that labor a little bit. Some of the people you dealt with, talked with, mentored in some cases are now...
I have a friend that I keep saying, you are making a difference.
Yeah. And now you look at them and they're out there, raising their families, being the leaders in our community, get involved in various organizations or various things to better our community. And
right.
That's what this program's all about, and that's what this award ceremony is all about, and that's why we want to get everyone involved. And we'd love to have more people reach out. If you graduate from this program in the last 30 years, we would love to have you come and be a part of the board. We always looking for fresh perspectives, fresh ideas. We love for those to serve on that capacity too. So we're always, if you're sitting there listening, it's like, yeah, I graduated back in the 90s, back with Elaine there. Maybe I should get back into it here. And we're always looking for people to help serve.
Well, look
even
how
if
many people worked on the candidate forum.
Yeah.
which was a huge success.
Just little stuff like showing up to help set up napkins and drinks and things
right.
like that.
Making cookies.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff we're looking for. You know, I mean, yeah, we need people to help organize, plan, and do all that, but just any help you can give, just to, because we're all about everyone contributing a little piece, and that's part of the one little cog that makes the big operation happen.
Right.
And that's what leadership's all about. And so this is why we want you involved. We need your help.
Right.
So if you know, and right now the task is to get us the names of the people.
Recognize these people,
that we need to recognize in our community.
And we will have a list on the Facebook, but there's quite a list.
There's a big long list of
that have been received. So
just some of our more modern ones here, just to kind of give a people like, you should nominate, and you're like, well, someone agreed with you. We nominated them.
Well, the last 2 years, the youth were John Graff and Amy McVeigh, Teus.
And both, John's now in Germany, I think.
Yes, he is. And the year before that was Tim Fuller, who's just still very active with
still out,
character counts.
And
et cetera.
Amy's just as involved with character counts and historical society. And,
everything else.
Sports, all kind of stuff.
She comes here a lot, too.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the outstanding, we've had Jim and Shirley Gill, Roswell Seed. I mean, my
staples
gosh.
in this community,
and
absolutely.
you can go look at their windows, and they're supporting every organization you can think of.
When you think of what's Roswell, all you got to say is Roswell Seed. You know what I mean? That's the fabric of this community is what goes on there at Roswell Seed.
In 20, it was Juliana Halverson.
Mm-hmm. Now a city councilor.
Absolutely.
Been involved with our community since long as I've been here and longer.
Absolutely.
So, her and her family.
And last year, Jane Anglin, she's a teacher, a school administrator, active supporter of many different groups here.
And she's technically not a part on the board anymore of the Historical Society. Technically.
She'll be back on.
Technically. But she's busier and involved in helping out the Historical Society just as much, if not more,
absolutely,
than when she was officially on the board.
She's a sharp lady.
She's an awesome person.
We also work together on the tourism committee, too.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, she's been a staple in our community for our community for a long time.
And the last three of the, lifetime achievements, which generally are people like over 70, it says in their papers. I don't know if we can say that, but...
we might have to up that because people are living longer now. So
That's true. Kathleen and Marlon Wells. Both.
Yes.
And last year was General Douglas Murray from the Institute. He retired.
General Murray, another for his time he was here. He's done a lot for our community, and we sorely miss his leadership to this day. Even though
absolutely,
we're happy for him, and
he'll be back for the banquet though.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
And then the Leadership Alumni Award, we've only started that in 2018, so there's only 4 right now, and that's Mike McLeod, Exile.
He's always doing a lot of stuff.
Talk about supporting the community with funds.
Absolutely.
Excel
Energy helps a lot of people in our group. Whenever you see Excel Energy partnering with someone, Mike McLeod had a hand in it.
That's right.
Just what happened. So.
And the second year it was myself, Elaine.
Yeah, again, Elaine, like she said, she's been with Leadership Roswell since '96 and has not stopped. You know, I think it's easier to tell people what you don't get involved with than what you do get involved with. Like that list is shorter. Is your don't get involved
and
with.
And they kept it from me. They kept it a secret, and I was on the committee.
I know. I remember some of the backdoor dealings to make sure that you did not know that was.
Until they.
And Amy was another one we had to keep kind of on the DL about that when we were, because both of you were very much involved in this process. So.
And then in 20 it was Donna Oracion.
Donna's.
Eastern New Mexico University Foundation. Yeah. Oh, supportive.
Again, another person we have on the radio quite a bit talking about
and a quiet person that's, again, humble, as we said.
Yes. She, I was going to say what's the saying? You talk small and carry a big stick. That's not quite true.
She's past president of the alumni. She's done a lot for the alumni. She was always there to do things. And so And then last year, my favorite, Lori Dudick.
Lori Yergi, Lori Dudick, depending on
Lori Archuleta, Yergi Dudick.
Yeah, whatever name she goes by now, she's been part of this community and serving it for a long time.
And she was received last year. Yeah. And again, we will recognize those last 3 years.
Yeah, and we want to get and we'll. And these last 3 years, the best we could do is put them on the radio, put them in the paper, and do kind of stuff. But now we get to give them a nice dinner and let them come out and be honored again properly in a group setting here. And
thanked.
Exactly. Because our way was cool, and they get probably a lot of personal messages and things, but But it's a little different than a room full of people celebrating you at one time. That's
right.
You can't quite replicate that virtually.
I want to say our first award, we only gave one award in 1998, was Dick Knowles. If you remember, he was a judge and a lawyer.
Yeah. That was our one year we had one award, and then it
that
grew,
first year, then
it grew from there. But again, we got 4 different categories we're looking for recipients for: the Lifetime Achievement Award, the Outstanding Leader Award, the Award for Commitment to Youth, and our Leadership Roswell Alumni Award. Please, if you know people that would fit the bill as great nominees for these, please nominate them. Please get this information to us, to Elaine here, before April 15th.
If they forget, they can call you.
Yeah, they can reach out to me and say, hey, and I will tell you, to help us make it easier or more difficult, depending on your perspective, brag on these people.
Yes.
Tell us, brag on these people, tell us everything.
There are some we don't know.
Yeah.
And we need to know to make a proper decision.
Or some we kind of know but didn't realize how much they do.
Oh, that's very true. Yeah.
You're like, oh, yeah, I've seen them over there doing stuff. And then you present to us that they're involved in 30 other things we didn't realize. And that's the kind of stuff we want to know about. Please tell us that. So, because I know there's people like that, that you know them from one thing. And you're like, oh, yeah, I see him at, for me.
Well, Amy's a good example.
Yeah.
Everybody sees her at Historical Society. They don't know she's president of Character Counts.
Yeah.
And has been since its inception. She's worked closely with it. So
exactly.
Absolutely.
And how much time she spends in school working with kids and working with others and working, not just in.
And her church.
Yeah, and her church, but not even just the public schools and stuff. She's over at Job Corps and Youth Challenge and all these places where youth are being mentored. She's involved in getting in there and helping in any way she can. That's what she does. But we don't know that necessarily unless you see it sometimes.
Yeah, and softball. Her father was instrumental in establishing this whole baseball, softball programs and complex.
She still gives me a hard time when I wear my blue shirt that day instead of my red shirt. I got a red shirt, a blue shirt, and a gray shirt. She's very happy to wear the red shirt. She gets on me wear the blue shirt.
I'm a Roswell High graduate myself. So won't tell you what year though.
I'm neutral. I graduated from Thomas Stone High School in Maryland, so I don't have a dog in either fight. I did not graduate from either school, so I can play neutral.
My high school class was the first one that there was a Goddard. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
so just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You almost beat the rivalry. There was no rivalry before that. It was just one place. So, but again, please reach out. Look for Leadership Roswell Alumni Association on Facebook. Like and follow us. Shoot us a message. Find the applications there. Learn more about becoming. If you're an alum,
it should be in the paper as well this week.
Reach out. The Daily Record should have it in there. Mm-hmm. If you're an alumni and you're looking to get involved, we'd love to have you. Reach out to our Facebook page. I don't care if you graduated 30 years ago or last year. We want more people to step up.
At least I can get your email and tell you when we're having a great program or something.
Yeah, at least to come out to stay in the loop and come out to events like our meet and greet, usually like in August. When we meet the new class, we get alumni to come out. We all have dinner and kind of welcome the new class. And we've had a little
Christmas thing.
Yeah, a little Christmas soirees, shindigs, and
just
things.
to stop by after work.
Yeah. It is. There is a social aspect to it as much as it is
it's networking.
The labor of love that we do as part of it too. Yes. So it's really. And I'm telling you, when you go to these, you're kind of like, I didn't realize you're an alumni. Yeah, me too. I graduated in 97. I graduated in 02. Whatever it is.
Exactly.
That you find out that there's a lot of people that because that program speaks volumes. And again, it goes back to Rick Kraft and his dedication to it. And there's a reason why Leadership Roswell is coveted across the state. There's programs similar, but guess who they use as the beacon, the example to follow? Leadership Roswell.
I would imagine half, if not more, of the city council has been through Leadership Roswell.
Yeah.
I can sit here and just naming them.
The current one?
All.
Yeah, I think so. You're right, too. And at any given time, that's almost always the case.
I think so, too.
Matter of fact, one of the candidates did not get elected, but one of the candidates was in a Leadership Roswell and said that was one of her goals. After going through and seeing what was going on, I said, you know what, I'm going to run for city council. And by golly, she stuck to that commitment. And she's a great person, just didn't win election. But you know what I'm saying? And I got a feeling we're going to see a lot more of her in our community doing great things.
Got her feet wet.
But that's Leadership Roswell right there. So
yes.
Nominate our winners here. Please help us
betcha.
out. I just realized I've been talking since 10 o'clock.
I know. It's all right. We're there.
Yeah. Again, any questions, email condor@dfn.com or like and follow Leadership Roswell Alumni Association Facebook. Shoot a message or a question there, and we'll get back to you.
And you can drop them off at the Historical Society. We have a mailbox by the back door there that's slot.
Yes.
You can. People have been dropping them off in there too.
We'll take them off your hands there too.
Yeah.
It'll get into the right people there. So very
Okay.
good. Well, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you. We'll see you here later on. Okay.
Okay.
Later on. Okay.
Okay.
All right. It's.
Wakefield Oil Express has the highest quality service in Roswell with a 17-point full-service oil change that includes a full wash and vacuum at their car wash. You won't find a better deal. They also offer full synthetic oil changes, fuel and cabin filter replacements, and will even check your battery. Their tunnel wash isn't afraid of dirty vehicles. They have the best value wash in town with free vacuums. They even offer wash passes that can be used for multiple vehicles. Next time you need your oil changed, go to the fast and efficient Wakefield Oil Express and let them earn your business. 3204 North Main, Roswell.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
And Town Hall News coming up next. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. This is day 2 of Senate confirmation hearings for Supreme Court nominee Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, suggesting that if confirmed, she would not try to legislate from the high court bench.
My North Star is the consideration of the proper role of a judge in our constitutional scheme.
Some Republicans concerned that as a federal judge, Jackson was too lenient in sentencing on criminal matters, specifically in 7 child porn cases. Ukraine's military reporting a victory, having retaken a strategically important suburb of Kiev. However, the Russians continue assaulting other areas around the capital, and they have reduced a vast majority of Mariupol to rubble, forcing civilians to risk their lives as they flee.
Civilians making the dangerous escape described fleeing through street-to-street gun battles and past unburied corpses as a steady Russian bombardment tries to pound the city into submission.
That report from correspondent Mike Hempen. Parts of Alabama, Louisiana, and Mississippi facing a threat of dangerous storms today. This after parts of Texas and southern Oklahoma were slammed yesterday. Forecaster Jeremy Grams at the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center.
The most intense tornadoes probably were those just west-northwest of the Metroplex and those kind of east-northeast of the Austin-San Antonio area. That southern storm was what we call a long track supercell. So that lasted for hundreds of miles in multiple hours, and there's been tornadoes reported all along its path.
And the damage to homes and businesses widespread. Some people were injured, but there have been no reports of any fatalities. Stocks are sharply higher on Wall Street. The Dow is up 292 points, the NASDAQ 137 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hi, I'm cute kid number 1. And I'm cute kid number 2. And we have been forced, you mean hired? We have been hired to tell you what direct lender FOMO is. So let's say you buy a new home, and maybe you use one of those big mortgage monsters.
Or someone your realtor or friend recommends.
And then a few months later,
You hear us being forced,
hired
to tell you about our mortgage team's Direct Lender Advantage.
And then you feel like you missed out.
Because you probably did miss out.
And that is direct lender FOMO.
It's Ryan, and our mortgage team is an arm of a bigger company who is a direct lender, which means our company gets to use its own money and make its own decisions within its own walls. There's no middleman. This often allows us to get you a better rate on that new home mortgage, saving you monthly and lifelong money. We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage maker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Ryan Brackett, NMLS number 65233. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Russia's most prominent opposition figure has been found guilty of charges that supporters insist are bogus.
Alexei Navalny is already behind bars. The Kremlin critic is currently serving a 3.5-year sentence for breaching probation. Now it's likely he'll face more years in prison. Appearing in a black prison uniform in a prison camp east of Moscow, Navalny was told by the judge that he'd been found guilty of illegally obtaining billions of dollars in assets from donations to his anti-corruption foundation and of contempt of court. He's always maintained that the charges against him are politically motivated, as have others around the world. Alexei Navalny was arrested in January last year on his return from Germany, where he'd been receiving treatment after he was poisoned by Novichok.
The BBC's Caroline Davis. Japan's government alerting people of potential blackouts in the Tokyo region because power supplies are low after several coal-fired plants temporarily shut down following last week's earthquake. townhall.com. The staff turnover continues in the office of Vice President Harris.
It's the 6th time since June a staffer's leaving and the 10th since Harris took office. Vice Presidential National Security Advisor Nancy McEldowney says she wants to spend time focusing on personal issues. Her announcement comes days after Harris returned from an overseas trip to Poland and Bulgaria, which has been widely criticized, and amid falling poll numbers. McEldowney joins a list that includes Deputy Press Secretary Sabrina Singh, who last week left to take a position at the Defense Department. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
Thousands of Southern and Central California grocery workers are voting on whether to authorize their union to call a strike against several major supermarket chains. About 47,000 workers at hundreds of Ralph's, Albertsons, Vons, and Pavilion stores are eligible to vote this week. The results expected to be reported in about 5 days. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Ringing through it, flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Good mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yep.
Hope you're having a delightful Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Pleasant day.
Real happy second day of the rest of your life.
Yeah, it looks nicer out with
It
the
does.
sun.
A little bit.
Still a little crisp out there, and
Yeah.
it's going to be breezy today. But to be honest, not so good weather-wise today.
Yeah.
Later in the week, going to be much more delightful.
Yeah, you just got to get through the slog to get to it, you know?
That's right. I mean, we're going to be pushing 90 on Sunday. Like 87 for a high. Like
You
we'll
know-
be in the 80s by like Friday of this week.
The reason
Thursday,
for days like today is so that you can enjoy days like that. Because
Yeah.
you can't enjoy true joy until you've experienced true sorrow.
Yeah, like I think your weekend is going to be weather-wise
Yeah.
just awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So however you want to do it. Yeah, and I went Jersey awesome.
Awesome. Utes going to have a good time.
Utes.
Actually, I think that'd be more Utes.
That
Utes
movie
gonna have a
still
good
holds
time.
up, by the way. My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah.
I watched it like a month ago. And enjoyed it just as much as I did when I saw it 1,000 times 20 years ago.
It's not one of those things that has a lot of offensive stereotypes outside of, say, for example, Italians.
I love it also that Herman Munster's in it. He's the judge.
That's right. I forgot.
Fred Gwynn.
Yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right.
I think that's one of his last films before
Probably
he
was.
passed away.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the last, but it was one of them.
That just randomly reminded me, and this is a very obscure, not super obscure. Do you remember the movie Trial and Error?
With Kramer.
Jeff Daniels and Kramer.
Yeah, I vaguely remember. I think I remember watching it and remarking how much I thought this was dumb and didn't finish.
It was a super dumb movie, but I loved every second.
Did you
of
say
it.
I think I couldn't get through it. I don't know. Maybe I did. It's been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had a desire to rewatch. I just remember Kramer was in it, and
like
it
playing
looked
a
awful.
lawyer that just based on like what he'd seen on TV or whatever. Because the other guy couldn't, or
Yeah.
it's hard to really remember the plot. But yeah, that was basically
It was the post Seinfeld years.
sitcom. Oh, that's right. They made a sitcom out of that. I forgot. That came out in '97.
Trial and Error.
Yeah,
they made
yeah.
a sitcom out of it.
They did.
What was the sitcom?
Trial and Error
with Kramer?
No, I'm sure. Let's see.
I don't even remember that.
I vaguely remember this came out a couple years ago.
The
This
movie's
was
so bad they decided to make a TV show out of it?
2017. They made 2 seasons of it.
Wow.
With John Lithgow,
John Lithgow was at trial.
Yeah.
Was he a judge?
He played Larry Henderson.
I don't remember
I'm
the
not sure.
show at all. NBC?
Yeah. Let's see. Was it NBC? No.
In my head,
it's on
like
YouTube now, but
yeah.
Oh, it's hard to say. But yeah, I vaguely remember the show coming out. Yeah, it was NBC. For a quick minute, I remember the show coming out, and then it just sort of went away. And Sherry Shepherd's on it, Amanda Payton. Pretty much John Lithgow and Sherry Shepherd are the two names you
Two names.
Stephen Boyer.
I don't remember the show at all. Was it like a night court spoof?
I think it was a comedy, but I'm guessing based on the movie.
Yeah, but I mean, because I'm trying to think. I'm just trying to think where they're trying to pattern it a little after Night Court, because it kind of sounds like. I mean,
I think maybe it was
anytime you do a court comedy. I mean, there's only so many places you can go with.
I feel like maybe it was the movie, but like broken down to the minutia of every single day. I don't know.
I just feel like it in my head they sound like they tried to recreate Night Court for this and tried to get their own. I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't even know they made a TV show out of it. So, let me give you the rundown real quick. We'll get you update with the weather and commercial break and all that. But later this hour, we're going to play our interview with Chef Anthony Noble.
Yes,
he joined us a couple weeks ago from Valley Cafe. We had an awesome conversation, ate burritos and soup, and it was fond memories for me.
Looking back. Harkening back to the sandwich and the soup that I had.
Good times. By the way, March 31st, I have another colonoscopy, and I've already decided my after surgery meal.
Yeah,
we're booking it down to Valley Cafe.
Nice.
Get me some more of that soup.
Chicken cordon bleu soup.
Maybe want to try one of them burgers. Yep.
Heck yeah.
That's my get out of surgery meal already. I've already planned it. But anyway, he joined us a couple weeks ago, and we're going to play that interview for you here in just a few minutes. So I teased this a little bit last hour. And I don't have a lot of time, so I just want to know. I got another one of my messages about things I said wrong. Every once in a while, I get people say I say something wrong or did something wrong, and so some are right, some are not right. Some people misheard me, some are accurate. Some, it's hit or miss. But anyway, my boss brought an idea, and I don't know if I like it, but it could be funny. And he said, why don't we start a Facebook page of wrong things Mike Winter says, or something to that effect. And yeah, it could be funny. It could, I could take the heat. I'm not worried about getting beat up, but I don't want it to turn into just a nasty. I mean, there's enough opportunities to be nasty on Facebook. I don't really want that. I want to make it more fun.
What we need to do is do stuff Mike Winters says.
Yeah.
Like that old, what was that show? My Dad Says.
Yeah. That was that started as a Facebook wall post group too, didn't it?
Yeah.
And then that turned into a TV show for 10 seconds.
So ish Mike Winters Says.
Lasted probably a little less longer than Trial and Error.
Right?
TV series. But anyway, I don't know. Do you think that would be funny? Do you think that could be?
It would, but it would also require, we'd have to have somebody as almost like a stenographer, basically.
Okay.
Like a court reporter to kind of keep track of every comment and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but also the question is, would you proceed to play it up for the Facebook page?
Sure.
No, I mean,
if it catches on and it's got
that's what I mean is would it become less authentic?
Oh no. I would not deliberately do things just to post it in there. I would play it up why did that person say that or defend
myself.
Did
Mike just tell the senator to take off and call him a hoser? Who even does that now? A hoser.
but yeah, I'm thinking, something we just have fun with it. So you know what? Give us feedback. Comment on our morning show feed there, or shoot me a message.
I would even argue, what about a Facebook page? And this is, I'm going to get ire from the boys in video for this. But what about a Facebook page specifically devoted to just clips, not necessarily interviews, but just clips when something happens on this show.
Okay.
The food things, the
See,
silly
then we have to
challenges.
get Tanner and Roy involved, and I don't know if they want all that.
If we just get timestamps or whatever, and we can isolate, because it's not super hard to cut out a quick. I'm not saying your job's not hard, Tanner. That's not what I'm saying at all. I respect everything that you do. I respect your job, and I respect you as a person. But I'm just saying, I think it would be kind of cool to have that extra place where people can go and just get little snippet clips of Mornings with Mike Winters to see that, we do the interviews, but you know what? We're fun guys.
But I do want I want listener interaction. I want them to, like, why'd you say this? Did you do that?
Yeah.
Whatever, something. But in good spirit. And if there is legit, like, I did something wrong, share it through there, and I would be make aware. And I don't know. Sure. But I don't know. See what people think. Maybe
let us know on the Facebook page.
Yeah, let us know. I'm curious.
Through the chat, because as I like to say, we're the station that listens back.
Or does no one even care? And I'm just doing something that maybe one person cares about.
Am I talking to a wall here, people?
I mean, let me know. All right. All right. It is 8:14. Let's go ahead and take a look at that weather. Not so nice today, but nice later on.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We may get a few clouds off and on today behind a cold front that came through earlier. We will be a little on the cool side with our afternoon high staying in the mid-50s, and the wind will be gusty all day. For the overnight hours, some clouds and down to the low 30s, and then we'll start warming back up on Wednesday. Lots of sun and our high in the low 60s, 70s Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 41 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 57%. Winds currently out of the northwest at 8 miles per hour. Today, could see some patchy blowing dust here later today. Partly cloudy, high of 53. That's the good news. Winds will be up out of the north, 20 miles per hour. Could see wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour today. So not so pleasant. Tonight, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 34. Winds out of the northwest, 15 to 20. You'll see those drop down 5 to 10 after midnight tonight. Wednesday, a smidge warmer, a little less windy too. Mostly sunny, 61 for a high tomorrow. North winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Clear skies tomorrow night with an overnight low of 30. Northwest winds 15 to 20, dropping down 5 to 10 after midnight. And then Thursday on, it's getting nice. Sunny, 77 for a high on Thursday. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Beautiful day for Thursday. Clear skies Thursday night with an overnight low of 39. Sunny and 81 for a high on Friday. And then weekend, even warmer. Sunny and 85 for your Saturday. Mostly sunny and 87 for your Sunday. So, yes, today not so good, but later in the week, you'll be back in shorts and sunglasses in no time. All right. It is 16 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And then on the other side, we'll play our interview with Chef Anthony Noble from the Valley Cafe. That's on the other side. Don't go away.
Get smoking hot deals during the sizzling savings event at Roswell Nissan. Like a 2015 Ford F-150 for just $307 a month, or a 2010 Honda Odyssey for just $149 a month. And join Roswell Nissan March 26th from 10 to 1 for free food, stuff for the kiddos, and your chance to win a Masterbuilt 30-inch electric smoker. 1 entry for stopping by, 3 entries with a test drive or service, and 5 entries with a purchase. Drawing March 26th at 1, must be present to win. Get a Home Depot gift card with a test drive and a portable grill and a chance at the cash grab just for stopping by. On now at Roswell Nissan. 2111 West 2nd.
When it comes to the security of your home or business, you want a local company, one that has a personal investment right here in Southeast New Mexico. Zenith Security Services is your local Honeywell dealer. Zenith can handle all of your business and residential alarms, cameras, and IT services, as well as home theater installations, all from a local company. The Spring Starter Package is now available at Zenith Security Services for your home or business. Call the real Zenith Security Services today. 575-626-3521. Zenith Security Services. Protection with a local touch.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical. Name to remember.
Up your spotting game with the help of Zia Guns USA in Roswell. Zia Guns USA is now an authorized full-line Tacticam dealer. The same scopes, cameras, and spotting equipment that the big boys use on TV. So now you can capture your hunt like never before. Zia Guns USA in Roswell also has a new shipment of knives by Benchmade and Case. Come check out the amazing selection for yourself. Take your hunt to the next level with Zia Guns USA in Roswell. Closed on Saturdays but open on Sundays at 1907 North Main in Roswell.
Nutrien Ag Solutions of Artesia area is looking for a general labor yard hand to join their team. Nutrien Ag Solutions is a respected and well-established company who values their employees. To apply, please stop by Nutrien Ag Solutions at 103 East Mill Road in Artesia, or apply online at nutrien.com or indeed.com. For more information on this current job opening, please call Nutrien Ag Solutions at 575-748-3510. Nutrien Ag Solutions is an equal opportunity employer.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you could call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Sigmund Freud once believed that cocaine could be used to help treat a morphine addiction. Mike used bacon to get over his addiction to beef. Here's Mike Winters.
Good morning. It is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Valley Cafe, Chef Anthony Noble back with us. Morning, Chef.
Morning. How's it going?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good.
First off, thank you for bringing food. That was awesome. You brought some of your breakfast burritos, and I've been talking about the cordon bleu soup. I'm a big cordon bleu fan. I love chicken cordon bleu. I mean, I love the product of the cordon bleu schools. We put out some good chefs. But I mean, as far as when people think of chicken cordon bleu, and I love that. If I'm not eating seafood, I love that one. So to have you guys have a soup, which I've been anxious to try.
Yeah.
So thank you for bringing that in
no
to
problem.
try here. So I know we talked before when you guys first opened up and everything here. So I got to ask. So you've been open about a month, 2 months now?
We're going on 3 months.
3 months now.
Next week.
Yeah, time is flying.
Yeah.
How's the first 3 months of business been for you?
Going great. Slowly getting busier. Word of mouth's getting out. Everyone's hearing about us. So lunches are starting to be real big. We're trying to draw a bigger breakfast crowd.
Good deal. Which, by the way, you guys serve breakfast and lunch Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
And it's great. It works out perfect. Like if you're at that end of town on your way to work, you want to come through, grab a cup of coffee and a burrito. You know, if you get in and out because you got to get to work, no problem. Or if you got a little time, want to sit down and enjoy it, no problem.
Yeah.
But then come by for lunch, and then like kids when they get out of school. You guys are open for a little bit after that. If they want to come by, maybe get some poppers or a snack, some, maybe a bowl of soup or burrito, whatever. They can get that done too. And you're at a great place there because it's right there at Church on the Move. It's the 180 Youth Building, right?
Yeah, it's right across the street, the orange and black building.
Right there on the campus of the Church on the Move property. Can't miss it. So, and what time do you guys open up in the morning?
7 a.m.
7 a.m. So on your way to work or whatever, swing by, and you're up until 2?
3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Yeah.
3 p.m. During the week.
And we also DoorDash if you find yourself stuck at work.
Excellent. And they'll bring it right to you, or if you're like me, that's what I keep. I live at the north end, so I'm not down at the south end, and then by the time I think about it, it's too late. So I need to do the DoorDash thing, but we figured it out. I got to get a colonoscopy sometime next week. I'll find out today. And so my after surgery meal will be a trip to the Valley Cafe. That's going to be my.
We'll expect you.
I know you're a young man, so you haven't worried about the colonoscopies yet. But when you get to that part, they make you starve you for a day, and then after the surgery, you're usually pretty hungry, and they tell you go eat what you want, eat your favorite thing or whatever. So we'll come by the Valley Cafe.
All right.
That'll be my plan there. So if you see a guy walking slow, just kidding.
Sounds good.
So let's talk menu here. I know we talked a little bit about before, but for people that are just learning about it here, you got a breakfast burritos, things like that in the morning, but you do burgers, soup, sandwiches. You got a gamut of food offerings.
We do salads as well. We have a turkey sandwich, we have a ham sandwich, we also have a chicken, and then we have a couple different types of burgers that you can't really find in town. I make my own barbecue sauce. It's a honey jalapeno bacon barbecue. Nice. And that goes on a sweet and spicy. It has a onion ring, jalapeno poppers, the barbecue sauce, and then pepper jack.
Nice.
We also do fried avocado burgers.
Ooh.
So those are very popular.
So you can get the fried avocados by themselves,
yeah,
but if you want to add them to as a burger, I imagine that burger's pretty tall.
Yeah, they're all pretty tall. And then, of course, we have just the regular plain burger, and then you can kind of build it yourself.
Sure, build your own if you get your own toppings and things, or just let Chef here just kind of pick what he thinks would be a good pairing here. I'm kind of curious, when you come up with like your own sauces and things like that, is it a lot of trial and error? I mean, how long do you take before you're like that? Like, Because I imagine you get close and you add this, like, that's pretty good. But, I mean, how long does that process take till you're finally like, that's the final product. That's how I make the sauce.
It depends on if you're good at knowing your spices and stuff. You kind of know how those flavors taste. So if you make it once and you're like, wow, that's too sweet, too salty, you can cut back what you need.
Gotcha.
And add what you want. So maybe 2 or 3 tries if you're good enough, you can get it done.
I imagine that's really any time when we're talking chefs and being a chef. You know, we talk about food, and a lot of us cook home and whatever. And like, yeah, I'm all right at cooking thing, but that's really what separates a chef from just a home cook. Is that really you have to be almost like a flavor. You have to have like a flavor encyclopedia. You got to know how foods taste like. You got to and have an understanding of what when you apply heat to it, or when you apply ice to it, or when you apply. You got to know what that food's going to do when those things happen. And so that's really the science side. I mean, between chef cooking and just, you know, making dinner for your kids at home or something. You really, and like when you get to that level, when you watch like Chef Gordon Ramsay and those guys on TV that do the big 4-star and Michelin restaurants and all that kind of stuff, that's the devil's in the details there, because those people are like, well, you know, not only do they know common ingredients, but even more exotic ones, and know how those work and how they pair. And a lot of us can have fun just trying it and see what works and see what doesn't work, but sometimes you don't get that luxury at that level of cooking and things.
Right.
So I'm just curious, you know, how much of it's science versus how much of it's just winging it and see what comes out of it.
Well, it's kind of both. I would say about equal.
Okay.
So you got to know when to simmer stuff, and you can't just have a full flame and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then a lot of it's you wing it, and then you're like, wow, that tastes good. I'm gonna do that. You know?
I would imagine, because I'm one of those ones that I like cooking. I'm not necessarily great at cooking. I don't miss meals. You know what I mean? But but I understand the talent that requires, and the patience. Like I've learned that I think you almost have to be more patient to be a good chef. And what I mean by that is just for the very thing you just said there with the heat. Like most people like want to crank it up on high and you get it cooked, and like, well, you're going to burn the outside and the inside going to be free. You know?
Exactly.
But you know that you almost have to burn a bunch of stuff to figure it out. Where as a chef, you have to have that patience, because you're ready for it to be ready now, but you're like, look, if I pull this sauce off right now, it's going to totally curdle it, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's, especially when you get in some of the more difficult sauce holidays, for instance, which you probably deal with a lot, you know, when some of your fairs and things, to make homemade holiday sauce, it's a lot of timing and a lot of flipping and folding it just right, and really a little not stirring it right, or not having the heat at the right level.
Slowly add the butter to that stuff.
It turns that holiday sauce from great to
it'll just break. The oil separate, and it just doesn't work out. After that,
and that's where being a chef comes in, is knowing, you know. The rest of us just buy the McCormick pack at the store and add milk or whatever.
Add milk and salt, and you're good to go.
But in reality, that's to make it to that area. That's where the chef comes in. So obviously that's what we want to also, you know, you're doing homemade ingredients and everything, you know, fresh made, you know, food items, things like that. That's something that I think's great, and we're starting to see more and more of in restaurants and things now, where we have the fast food world where everything's trying to get it to you quick, and you're kind of in that world, but it's like, we obviously don't want people waiting hours for food, but at the same time, you know, people are ready to appreciate the fact that it takes to get real food, good food. You know, it takes time to make that and to make it right, and there is a difference in the taste between something fast food, just burgers. I mean, take any fast food burger and then take one of your homemade burgers. I don't care which one it is, and pound for pound, that thing's going to be 10 times tastier because of the time, the effort, the attention to detail that gets put into that crafted sandwich. You know, that's the difference between eating and and dining.
Right.
So I got to ask, what's your go-to? Like, if you could have one dish on your menu and eat that for, like, say, a week and nothing else, what would that be for you?
Well, my wife, we actually just updated the menu, and we added 2 things to it because they got so popular online.
Okay.
And my wife came up with 2 things, but one of them was the jamwich.
Okay.
And she makes her own jalapeno pineapple jam.
Oh, interesting.
So on this sandwich, it's a ham, and then it's grilled onions, grilled jalapenos, bacon, and Swiss, and then we use the jalapeno jam as the spread.
Nice.
Like the mayo. And
that's kind of like almost like a grilled cheese on steroids a little bit. That's kind of the feeling. You get the sweet, the heat, meat, obviously.
Yeah. And we're doing that online and on DoorDash only, and it blew up so big that we just threw it on.
Now it's part of the regular menu.
Yeah.
Do you guys still have like DoorDash exclusive sandwiches, or is it a full menu on all?
There's a couple on there. I think we do a green chili patty melt's one of them.
Okay.
And couldn't tell you the other one.
Okay.
We might have actually added that one to the menu.
So really, then the onus on us here is come in and dine in. But give that DoorDash a try and try some of those exclusive DoorDash or online only offerings there. And again, like you said, if they get popular enough, then you're going to force Anthony here to put them on the regular menu. Like
exactly, depending on the prep time.
Sure.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, but that's a real thing. I mean, most of us thinking, oh, I just want to put tasty food on, but you know, there's more to that in running a restaurant. You're looking at every plate, what that plate cost you to make versus what you can sell it legitimately here and get a fair value for it and things like that. So you look at things like, sure, I'd love to do a Wagyu beef thing, but who's going to pay $40 for it or whatever? You know what I mean? So you have to kind of see where people, you know, what you're willing to pay and what, because I imagine there's times you probably want to get a little exotic with some different, you know, meats and things, but it just depends on what you know, you like it and other people like it, but will it catch on enough to it's something that you can keep?
And prices are fluctuating so much right now.
I would imagine that. How much of that, I've got just curiosity with you running a business here, how much of that's, I mean, for you learning on the fly versus, you know, that side of it, because I'm thinking if someone's new to the restaurant business, this last 3 years of COVID is probably the most god-awful time to try to start a restaurant. You know what I mean? Just because supply, demand, employment, all those issues there, but you pull it off, obviously. And so I'm kind of curious, was there a learning curve there on trying to finagle, you know, what's tried and true before COVID isn't today and creating a restaurant from the ground up through that? Man, that was an added wrinkle that some restaurants haven't had to deal with. You know?
Right. Well, luckily, I learned a lot at Cattle Brand when I was there.
Okay.
So I learned what to order, what to look for as far as looking at the catalog on the order guide and stuff.
Sure.
So you can find different stuff that is either cheaper, but you don't want to go too cheap where the quality is affected. So, and then if prices bump up, you just got to kind of work with it.
Sure.
Know? And then
did that impact what you wanted to offer sometimes? Like where there's dishes that you were saying, I'd really love to do this, but supply and demand just really limited you on your ability to offer that?
Not yet. Because luckily we don't deal with steaks and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Those have gone way up, or brisket.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Brisket used to be very cheap. Now it's top dollar to even get a couple pounds of that stuff.
Yeah, anybody notice if you tried to buy a half pound of biscuit or from a barbecue vendor or something, notice why it's very expensive.
And there's a reason too, but
sure. Well, and that's something, and I think a lot of people don't realize that side of it, and hopefully are realizing it now. Is, you know, you guys are trying to keep your prices fair and everything, but at the same time, you've got a bottom line to meet here, and the cost of beef is, you know, 10 to 20 times higher than it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago. That's a problem for you guys in the numbers, and that's where I'm sure that experience, like I said, with Cattle Baron, it's kind of meeting those numbers, but I'm guessing when you got here, you're like, man, I had to really
focus.
Yeah, because I imagine there's just certain items that are just even, and there's still common things that you need every day that still, you know, like, you know, milk, eggs, things like that. I'm sure sometimes that got a little pricey and weird on, you know, getting those things.
Right. Not only pricey, some stuff is just out of stock, and I actually have to make a trip to Sam's Club or something to go get stuff we need for the next day.
Try to go and go through other means to get those products. So very, but I'm fascinated by that kind of thing. But the whole point is I want to get people to see that you're busting your hump and providing a delicious meal for folks. Come check it out. Come give it a try. Come bring your family in. Come. It's a family-friendly, fun. You know, it's Church on the Move. It's all about love and God, and so and delicious eats. So I got to ask. I'm going to go back again. You're talking about the jelly, the jam thing, but you know, what's probably the biggest ticket item that most people ask for? What's kind of the most popular item you think on your menu?
Well, I pulled a product mix the other day to kind of look from last month, and the sweet and spicy we sold 137.
Okay,
which is a burger, and then compared to the fried avocado burger we sold 139, and those are just right there.
So but either way, they're all kind of a sweet heat mode. So people seem to want that more in their burgers, at least around here. You know? Interesting. So I'm kind of curious, is there any concoctions in the future, any other things you're experimenting with, or any, I don't know if it's a new burger or a new dish or something that you're kind of like, I'm thinking about maybe making this as a menu item. I know you don't want to give out too much, but is there any certain ones you're kind of like, I want to play with that area?
Not as far as making it a menu item yet, but we do features at least once a week. We try to.
Okay.
We're about to add red chili to the menu because we have smothered green chili, but we're going to add red chili. It's been very, very requested by a lot of people.
Sure.
But I was thinking about doing a garlic Parmesan burger. I won't go into detail about that, but that should be coming up soon.
I kind of like where you're going with that.
It's going to be really good.
Yeah,
and,
very good.
There's the sky's the limit. We can come up, me and my wife, we can come up with a lot of different stuff.
Good deal.
Either on the fly or even...
And of course, the great thing about it, like you said, you offer sandwiches, soups, things. So if you're kind of, trying to be health conscious on some things, you guys have great fares that are, your lower carb, lower things for folks that are trying to do that. And then you got, and then if you want to indulge, which that's me, then you get to try, some of the more fried avocado burgers and some of the things that probably your doctor will get you a little mad at, but everyone else wants to love and have. But that's the beauty of food. Is to take these things and create and see what you can do and push envelopes. And were you like that as a kid? Like, were you one of those ones in the kitchen as a kid making weird sandwiches and things because that's what was laying around in the house? Like,
not really.
My brother was one of those people. Like, he'd just make a sandwich and part of it because might be we were poor and stuff. But, like he'd go to get a sandwich and he'd be in the house like, okay, there's bologna, I'll take that. There's some mustard. And like he'll literally make a sandwich that's got peanut butter, jelly, it's just whatever condiments
just to check it out, huh?
And sometimes they weren't half bad. Right. Sometimes you want to chuck them out the window.
Right.
But I didn't know if you had that as a kid as a bug. You're always wanting to make stuff.
Not really. I just once I started at Caliburn when I was 15, and then I just kind of grew to
fell in love there.
Kind of grew to like it. Yeah.
Good deal. So, is there a not one on your menu or anything? Is there like a dish that you've been trying to make or prepare that you just been trying to get right for years that you can't get right? What I mean? Is there like a one of those menus you're just like, I wish I could figure out how to get that perfect that you've been trying to get and can't and haven't done yet?
Not necessarily. I mean, everything that I've ever tried, it either take a couple tries to get it, or, and then it kind of worked out. So I don't know if I'm just blessed in that area or God gave me a great gift. So.
Sure. What do you have a favorite type of cuisine or favorite? Is it burgers and stuff, or do you like to venture into Mexican or Italian or some of the other?
I like burgers. I can make a pretty good chicken Alfredo.
Okay.
But I mean, everyone loves Mexican food too. So
sure.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, you can't grow up in New Mexico or in Roswell and not, have a love for Mexican food.
Absolutely. So I don't have a favorite. No, I just all around here and there.
Okay. Very cool. Through DoorDash, like you said, or what's the hours for? It's 7 to 3 Monday through Friday at the Valley Cafe. And if you're not sure, it's right on the Church on the Move campus there on Brasher. What's the actual address number? Do you know off the top of your head?
It's 901.
901 Brasher, and it's right across the street from the actual church there, the old 180 Youth building.
Yeah, it's the orange and black building.
Yeah, come on in, pull on up, and anytime between 7 and 2, get for first timer. Let's do breakfast and lunch. First time breakfast, what would you recommend they try the first thing out of your breakfast menu?
We would go with the Breakwich. It's basically just a sausage, bacon, egg, cheese sandwich.
Okay.
But what really kicks it off is I make my own maple Dijon sauce.
Ooh.
And it's really good with it.
Nice. I could see that pairing well. Any sausage tastes great with maple. That's like it's right there with peanut butter and chocolate. You know what I mean? Of those pairings.
Yeah.
I think maple and sausage are one of those that hits that. So
Absolutely.
I'm down. All right, for the lunch fare, what would you recommend as a first time try for the lunch fare?
I would go with the sweet and spicy burger for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Excellent. So there, menu set up, and we got you covered here. Of course, he said I'm anxious to try the soup here. Let's do that on the air. Let's do that.
Okay.
I want to try, but you might hand me the bag here. I can't wait. I've been holding out here. You don't mind, do you? I don't know if you have I didn't know if somebody's like, I don't want you to watch and eat my food here, but
no, that's fine. Go ahead.
I ain't gonna lie. I've been excited to try this cordon bleu soup here.
I hope it's still hot enough. It should be.
It feels warm. Yeah, it feels warm here. Smells good. I'm kind of getting oh yeah.
Yeah, basically it's, you got your chicken and ham. Yeah. It's a cream-based soup. We add a little Dijon.
Here, I'll try to get it on camera here for those that can kind of see. It's kind of hard to tell from this angle here, but it looks good. It smells good. I'm going to try to get a ham, everything in there. That's really good.
has potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
You get that kick of the Dijon, and then the ham, of course.
I love it because it's creamy, and it's rich but not too rich. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you get rich ingredients and it overpowers it. This is that right perfect. Like sometimes like you get something that's so rich that you can only eat a little bit of it. Your stomach's not. This is not. This is like that perfect balance of that. This is really good.
We actually usually sell it. I forgot the croutons, but we usually top it off with a little bit of croutons.
I
Give
don't
it
need
that crunch.
The meat and potatoes is good.
Perfect.
Enough for me. I'm not going to finish on air because that would be rude. But
that's all right.
No, I'm going to try those. Man, that's really good.
Yeah, and those burritos are our loaded burritos, bacon, sausage, egg, potato, cheese, and they are always that size.
By the way, I'm going to
want
bring one. I'm not going to open it and eat it, but just to give you, this is the burrito size. All right, it's covering my head.
Yeah.
Pretty much in the picture here. It is a huge burrito. So if you walk away and you're hungry after this, you have a bottomless pit for a stomach.
Right. I'm almost to the point where we need to start selling 2 salsas for each burrito instead of 1 because I just don't think there's enough salsa for it.
I would imagine you got about 50% of the population can't finish that. Like they get it and they take it home, or they, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
save it for later just because it's a big burrito. Look, I love that. That looks good. If it's half as good as that soup, it's gonna make really good. Man, now I got a problem. Like, do I want to come for breakfast or lunch? And I wonder if you can you do you full menu all day?
All
or is
day.
it- Excellent.
Yeah.
So if I come a little later, I could actually get soup and a burrito. I don't know how I'm going to eat all that, but I'm going to try.
That'll work. Yeah. We have a kid's burrito. It's a little smaller.
Okay, so if you have a small appetite, maybe go with the kids' burrito
Yeah.
there too. And of course, but check out the menu for yourself. You do have a Facebook page, right? The Valley Cafe.
Valley Cafe.
Follow and like there. That way you can, whenever there's like maybe a special deal or a new menu item, a limited time menu item, that way you're kind of staying up to date. So when Anthony comes out and says, you know what, I'm going to come out with this burger today, come on by and give it a try. And that way you're in on all of that stuff. So, and that's what I imagine that's kind of the cool part of being at the Valley Cafe too, is you've got your menu and people want certain things, but you being the chef and it's your show, when you decide, you're like, you know what? I always wanted to try, making a pasta dish or something. Let's make a pasta dish and see how that, and like you said, like you're online and the sandwich you're talking about with the sweet and the jalapeno, the jelly with the ham and the jam, the jamwich, that's what it's called.
Jamwich, right.
Yeah, the jamwich. That's a perfect example of that. Like you said, you put it online just to see, and now it got really popular, and now it's a regular part of the menu. Maybe, you get online and stay up to date, and you're like, oh man, he came up with this new pasta or this new whatever sandwich, and that should be a part of the menu. And so that way you can stay up to date on all that. And it sounds like it's a good place where you get to try all that and just kind of their customers dictate what you do on some. I mean, you have your standard fares and everything else, but you go where the customer, when they're requesting, like you said, you're adding red chili to that now to the menu. That's all due to customers wanting that, to hearing that kind of stuff. So now you're at that point where you're getting feedback and are able to tweak your menu to do that. What we haven't talked is desserts.
Oh yeah,
you do desserts too.
Yeah, we have I think 4. We have cheesecake. We actually order that in. We don't make that one.
Okay.
But we make the brownies.
Okay.
And we make the special one is the orange creamsicle pie.
Yeah.
Everyone loves that one.
Yeah. That's probably a memory in food. You know what I mean?
It's real light and fluffy. It's so good. And then we do a fried ice cream as well.
Can't go wrong with fried ice cream. What flavor ice cream is it?
Just vanilla.
Okay.
And we roll it in like a cinnamon toast crunch.
Oh, nice. So it's got a little cinnamon crunch to it. Nice. I saw a commercial. They got a graham cracker cinnamon toast crunch version now. I wonder,
Wow.
Or you ever try different, like, when they do offshoots of cereals and try those
Right.
kind of things? That might be kind of interesting.
Sometimes they're too sweet. But
But graham cracker might not be too bad.
Nah,
I'm not
might
sure.
be good.
It might be dangerous getting into chocolate territory, but
Right.
But that might work. It's kind of more of the same, just a little different taste to it. Is there anything we wanted to share? Anything that we wanted to talk about that, or any dishes we want to cover that we just didn't get a chance to cover?
I don't know. I know just last week on DoorDash we got most reliable, most loved restaurant.
Nice.
That was
Congratulations.
That was pretty big. So
excellent.
Praise God on that one. So people are. Well, I guess once you open up DoorDash now, you'll see us instead of having to search.
Oh, I got you. You're kind of more of their featured items.
You get perks from that.
That's
stuff
good.
like
Good
that.
for you guys, man. That's great. I got a feeling you guys are. you're turning it up, man. I think I can honestly see the Valley Cafe is going to be a Roswell staple.
Right.
And just there's always certain restaurants in the town, and people always say, "Where do you go to eat?" And the locals like, "Yeah, go to this." I think Valley Cafe is going soon to become one of those regular staples in everybody's list of places to go check
No
out.
doubt. We have a great team.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom works with me. She does a great job. My wife, and then a couple other people are there as well.
Yeah. And it's great to see that. And of course, you're right there by the church. So, especially if you got your church meetings, things, or got business of that in a town, go swing by. Go check it out. Come in, have a breakfast, have a lunch, have a brunch, whatever time you roll in through there, and give it a try. And I guarantee that soup was delightful. Thank you very much for that. I'm sure those burritos I'm going to dig in a little bit are going to be just as tasty.
You got breakfast and lunch there in one burrito.
I know. My wife's going to be jealous. She's going to be like, "What do you want to do for dinner?" I was like, "I'm good.
Yeah,
I've been eating all day."
That's funny.
Anything else we want to mention? Did we get it all?
I think so.
All right.
I'll probably remember after I leave, but I think we covered enough.
Yeah, that's usually how it works. Again, come check out the Valley Cafe. Check it out for breakfast, lunch. They're open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And they're on Brasher, 901 Brasher, right at Church on the Move. They're in the 180 building, right across the street from the main church facility there on the other side of Brasher. You can't miss it. It's right in front of it there. Follow your nose. That'll get you there.
Basically. And we do have an online menu, too, if you want to do it online.
Order online. Is it valleycafe.com or what's the website?
You can find us on Facebook. If you go to Facebook, you can find it. But if you can remember, toasttab.com/The Valley Cafe.
Okay. And if you don't remember that, find Valley Cafe on Facebook. You'll find a link to order there.
Yeah, there's
that
a
way
menu.
you can order online and then come by, pick it up if you're on the run or need it quick kind of thing.
Yeah,
and that
you
way.
can set up future orders as well. So the night before, if you're like, "Hey, I want some soup in the morning."
Oh, nice.
You can order it, and then
I like that move.
morning.
That's a great move because I need to think. Yeah, that's a great because how many times do you think in the night before you're like, "Oh yeah, I haven't been to Valley Cafe in a while. I'm going to grab." And then your life happens and you forget. And it's like then you remember the last year that day. "Oh, I was supposed to get Valley Cafe today." Now you can. All right, I want Valley Cafe tomorrow. You go in and say, "Set me up for for some cordon bleu soup and a sweet burger here," and boom, and you're avocado.
Yeah, then you wake up in the morning, you already paid for it, so you have to go get it.
Yeah, now you got it. Now you remember because you get reminders. Don't forget to get your food.
Right.
That's awesome. So use technology or go the old-fashioned way. Whatever it was, Valley Cafe's got you here. Come on by, and I guarantee when you walk out of there, you're going to be happy and just like, man, what a great place. And I think once you go there, you're like, we just found a new place to go get some lunch and breakfast once in a while here. At any point down the road, do you want to start doing dinner, or is that something
we've talked
long-term?
about it? Yeah, we have a long-term goal, so
okay.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. So.
Just curious, just putting you on the spot. What would be one of your signature dinner items if you were going to put a dinner menu?
Oh man, I haven't even thought
something.
about that. We'd probably go steaks or something like that. But as far as the signature, I don't know. Kind of hard to say to be put on the spot like that.
Yeah, I mean, would you want to be more upscaley, or do you want to keep it like in the burger vein? Or
I don't know. Either way, actually,
Yeah.
I mean, I like kind of the atmosphere of the burger. It's kind of you're in there, you can have a really good time.
That's just fun.
But
you can still do fine dining in that same atmosphere. You know what I mean? We live in a world now where you can sit down and eat a higher ticket seafood or steak dinner or something and be in a very, informal, just good family atmosphere setting. It doesn't have to be stodgy and starchy and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you go to steakhouse and everyone's like, "Well, you need a coat, sir," and all that. And you're like, "No, I just want steak, man."
Valet parking.
Yeah. But I think we can do that now. You can go in and get meals of that level, but not have to get all stuffy and dressed up and pay $300 sticker price that they charge for those kind of things too. So,
well, I don't know. I have a great creamy bruschetta sauce that I make, so that'll definitely be on the menu.
Nice.
I like making sauces. So
that's kind of your thing you enjoy most.
Yeah.
Because really, I think because that can change every dish. Like you can take a dish and like let's just say we'll take beef. You take a hunk of beef, cook it up, and put different sauces and make it into a completely different meal.
Yeah.
It's the same piece of meat with different sauces and everything can be a whole different meal.
Yeah, change the flavor altogether.
Yeah. Absolutely. So one day you want to go creamy, maybe another day you want to do a little more heat or sweet or whatever it is. Or more that Asian kind of zing, whatever it is, whatever direction. The sauce can take you there. So I could get that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm sure you got to get back and about 20 things to prep here and get. You got a lunch rush coming here.
Yeah,
so
I better get back.
So I
It's
better
just my
get
mom
back.
and wife over there right now. So
Yeah,
I hope they're all right.
so they're like, tell Anthony to shut his mouth, get over here and work. Thank you very much. Thank you for the food.
Thank you for having me.
And I'll see you next week. Next week after my colonoscopy. I'm going to come in. So you see a guy limping in wanting a cheeseburger. That'll be me.
Sounds good.
Thanks,
All right.
Anthony.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you. Appreciate it.
or any possible arrests. Effective immediately when people donate life-saving blood through Vitalant, they can also learn if they have antibodies for COVID-19. They can also find out if their plasma can be used to help COVID patients with weakened immune system. For a limited time, all donations will be tested and results will be available in donors' online accounts about 2 weeks later. To find out more about donating blood and plasma, visit Vitalant.org or call 877-25-VITAL. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We may get a few clouds off and on today behind a cold front that came through earlier. We will be a little on the cool side with our afternoon high staying in the mid-50s, and the wind will be gusty all day. For the overnight hours, some clouds and down to the low 30s, and then we'll start warming back up on Wednesday. Lots of sun and our high in the low 60s, 70s Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. More than 500 workers at a Chevron Corporation refinery in the San Francisco Bay Area went on strike early Monday over safety concerns and to demand salary increases to keep up with inflation. The strike affecting the refinery in the city of Richmond began just after midnight. It came after the workers voted down Chevron's most recent contract offer. Washington, D.C. is suing meal delivery company Grubhub, saying it misled customers with a promotion that claimed to help restaurants during the height of the pandemic. The lawsuit, which was filed Monday, also alleges that Grubhub deceives customers by obscuring added fees and failing to disclose that its prices for menu items have been higher than restaurant prices. The Chicago-based company said some of the practices cited by the lawsuit, such as delivering from non-partner restaurants or setting up websites that mimic a restaurant, have been discontinued. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Score a slam dunk during the March Mania savings event at Roswell Honda with a great lineup of vehicles you can't miss. Like a 2018 Kia Optima for just $279 a month, a 2011 Honda Pilot for just $249 a month, or a 2016 Audi A3 for just $219 a month. Get a 12-pack just for stopping by, a basketball with a test drive, and a Big 5 gift card with purchase. Score big during the slam dunk savings event at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd. Or shop online 24/7 and see what's waiting for you at RoswellHonda.com.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical.
Name to remember.
We teach our kids to say please and thank you to total strangers. But we get so familiar in our marriages and families, we stop being polite to each other. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and my wife, Miss Julie Smotherman, for The Joy of Marriage.
In the love chapter of 1 Corinthians 13, it says that love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. We emphasize being polite to each other in our family, which promotes an attitude of respect and brings peace in our home. Remember your manners with the person you love the most. Appreciate the things they do for you and let them know.
Being polite to each other can help you avoid conflict. Let's be polite to strangers, but let's not give our best to the people we don't live with. Let's give our best to each other.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Attention high school students, would you like more information on the most affordable four-year university in New Mexico? Then RSVP today to our Eastern New Mexico University Open House Preview Day, Saturday, March 26th. At ENMU Open House, you will have a chance to win great prizes, such as an iPad and a $500 scholarship. Get more information about admissions and scholarships. Meet with ENMU faculty. Find out more about potential majors and get a specialized campus tour from ENMU students. Sign up today at enmu.edu/open house. Explore, experience, excel. Eastern New Mexico University.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Goodyear Rubber Company researched and concluded that shoes wear out faster on the right foot than on the left. To fix this, just walk backwards for half the day. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:55. Stay tuned next hour. About 9:15 or so, we're going to have James Tucker join us from Celebrate Recovery. And, of course, we'll talk a little bit about Celebrate Recovery. But want to invite everybody out to a free event they've got happening at Grace Community Church on Saturday, April 2nd. They're going to have a night of hope and inspiration with Hosanna Wong. And he'll join us, tell us all about this event. I think we got a little clip we're going to play, kind of introducing you to her if you're not familiar with Hosanna Wong. But she does big inspirational message and should be pretty fun event and inspiring, obviously. But anyway, James is going to join us next hour, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. And, of course, Celebrate Recovery and invite people to come be a part of that as well. Vitalant, of course, you heard in the news there, they just started back up doing their antibody testing. Starting today, when people donate life-saving blood through Vitalant, they can learn if they have antibodies to the virus that causes COVID-19 and find out if their plasma can be used to help COVID-19 patients with weakened immune systems. And for a limited time, all donations will be tested, and results will be available in donors' online accounts for about 2 weeks. About 2 weeks later. What Vitalant can do, they can produce convalescent plasma from donations that test sufficiently high for COVID-19 antibodies, while red blood cells and other blood components may help trauma victims, cancer patients, and other patients with serious conditions. The antibodies in convalescent plasma can give COVID-19 patients with weakened immune systems an extra boost to help fight the disease. Also, added benefits of donating blood, you also get a mini physical and a full panel of tests for each donor receives. Now including that antibody testing. So the mini physical is a check of your pulse, blood pressure, hemoglobin, and cholesterol can be tracked with each visit in the donor's secure and confidential online account. So that information is just available to you, not the world here. To donate blood, we've got some blood drives going on here. You can reach out to Stephanie at Vitalant to sign up for a blood drive or to donate blood. Reach out to her at 575-840-8178. Folks in Carlsbad, they're doing a blood drive today at Western Commerce Bank from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. They're in their community room. This Saturday, they're going to be back in Carlsbad at Carlsbad Mennonite Church in the Fellowship Hall from 10:30 to 3. Here in Roswell next week, Is it next week? March 30th. I think that is next week. March 30th, they're going to be at Grace Community Church from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the lobby there, so you can donate blood there. And then folks in Hagerman High School will be hosting a blood drive Thursday, March 31st in the Old Commons there from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Again, to schedule an appointment, or if you have questions or want more information, reach out to Stephanie with Vitalant, 575-840-8178. If you want to do some more research on the whole antibody testing and things like that, go to vitalant.org/antibody to take you directly. Or if you just go to vitalant.org, VITALANT, you can go and learn more about the whole blood donation process, what they do, if you want some more information. But definitely, once you do all your research, reach out to Stephanie and schedule an appointment, 575-840-8178, and give that gift of life and donate blood. Not only you're helping people in car accidents and cancer treatments and everything else, making sure blood supplies are on the shelves for all those folks who need it. But now, for a limited time, if you are one of those people with the high antibodies, you can also help out there too. So reach out to Stephanie and donate blood. And one of the easiest and best things you can do to help people in our community is going out and donate blood. 575-840-8178. All right, it is 9 o'clock. Town Hall News coming up next. We'll be back on the other side. Do not go away.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The Senate confirmation hearing for Supreme Court nominee Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson has entered a new phase, questioning of the nominee by senators.
Jackson spoke about the greatness of America and changes from the time her parents were children.
My parents, when they were growing up in Miami, Florida, attended and had to attend racially segregated schools.
The nominee says that's why she drew on the speech of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in a 2020 commencement address.
The fact that we had come that far was, to me, a testament to the hope and the promise of this country, the greatness of America.
If confirmed, Jackson will become the first black woman ever to sit on the nation's highest court. Bob Agnew reporting.
3.5 million. The UN says that's the number of people forced to flee Putin's war in Ukraine. The BBC's James Waterhouse in Kiev says fierce resistance, making the Russian drive painfully slow and very costly.
Russian advances are continuing to be stalled by logistical problems, according to military experts in the US, with the exception of Mariupol, where they expect the city to fall within weeks. The UK Ministry of Defence believes Moscow's decision to deploy hypersonic missiles is an attempt to distract from its lack of progress and claims it won't have an impact on the outcome of the campaign.
The Salem Radio Network, along with nonprofits Food for the Poor and Feed My Starving Children, are rushing food, water, and emergency relief to refugees of the Ukraine conflict. More information available at srnnews.com. Searchers looking for the flight data and cockpit voice recorders of the Boeing jetliner that crashed in a mountainous region of southern China. Apparently, no survivors among the 132 people on board that domestic flight. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 223 points. The Nasdaq ahead 226 and the S&P 42 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3388 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3388. Enjoy.
A jailed Russian opposition leader faces a lengthy prison term on top of the one he's already serving, now convicted of fraud and contempt of court.
Alexei Navalny now found guilty this morning. We've heard the verdict. We are waiting for exactly what sentence he will receive. The prosecutors here have been pushing for 13 years behind bars, and we've also heard that they might be pushing for him to be in a maximum security prison as well. So really sort of stepping up the pressure in this situation. In terms of Alexei Navalny, of course, his organisation has been mounting a direct challenge to President Putin. His organisation, his foundation, have investigated corruption charges. That foundation was also labelled an extremist organisation, and that has meant that many of the people that were involved, many of his key allies, have left the country because they were, of course, very scared for their own safety.
The BBC's Caroline Davis in Moscow. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. A Hub City manufacturing deal in Maryland.
Governor Larry Hogan says Hitachi Rail plans a $70 million factory employing hundreds of people in western Maryland as part of a U.S. expansion. Hitachi expects to employ up to 460 people at the factory in Hagerstown and sustain 1,300 jobs in the region. Officials say the new facility will help Hitachi fulfill its $2.2 billion contract with the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority to build its new fleet of rail cars. Rhonda Rockstra reporting.
Powerful storm walloped north and central Texas, along with southern Oklahoma yesterday, spawning multiple tornadoes, leaving widespread damage and some injuries before moving east, now bearing down on the deep south, menacing parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. In Texas, Jacksboro, about 60 miles northwest of Fort Worth, along with the Austin and College Station areas, were especially hard hit by the powerful storm. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Ringing through it, flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope your Tuesday's going well. If not, got a lot of time to turn it around. And if it's going well, call it a win.
Yeah.
Take the rest of the day off.
You know what? So far, so good.
Yeah.
It's like the whole I'm a well-wisher in that I don't wish anyone any specific harm. It's a good day in that nothing catastrophic has happened just yet.
There you go.
Yep.
Glass half full.
Glass half full. God bless it.
Oh, man. Well, happy Tuesday. Hope it's going well. I haven't heard much input on whether we should start that page or not. So if you want to,
chime on in
what Mike does wrong or what says wrong or what things are.
We need to put like can you still do polls? Is that still a thing?
I think you can. I've seen them. I've seen them on Twitter. I'm assuming Facebook still has polls.
I'll try to figure out how to put a poll up on the 106.5 page. Like, what would you rather see? What would you rather see? A dedicated post or dedicated Facebook page to things that Mike says, or a dedicated Facebook page devoted to clips from the show that aren't interviews, things like that.
Yeah.
I'll figure out a way to make it less convoluted.
I saw a poll on Twitter just a little bit ago.
Really?
Who would you rather have as your Washington quarterback? Matt Ryan or
the Grimace?
Or Wentz? And, I was like, doesn't matter. We got Wentz. Matt Ryan's down in Indianapolis. But
then have a write-in vote for Aaron Rodgers.
Well, the thing is Now there's a sect of Washington fans. Like, you mean we could have had Matt Ryan? Why didn't we get Matt Ryan instead of
That was an option?
And I got to be honest, I think I'd rather have Wentz. If it was Matt Ryan 5 years ago, yes. But Matt Ryan needs to go to a team that's ready to win a Super Bowl. And I don't know if Indy's that, but I think they're closer than Washington is.
Either way, it's going to be a stretch.
Washington needs a guy that's younger. You know what I mean? They got a young team. They need a leader, but they don't need someone ready to win the Super Bowl like today. And Matt Ryan's that guy, and I don't think Washington's there yet.
So you think they still need a season or two to kind of find their feel and gel and coalesce?
And I don't even know if Carson Wentz is the answer. I don't know. He's 29, but he may just be a stopgap if they draft a QB or whatever. But I don't know. I think there's more upside to Wentz. He's only 29. He's huge. He's like 6'4".
Yeah.
Which Washington hasn't had a quarterback that's
a big boy for a quarterback. Yeah,
and he's got a cannon of an arm. Mostly what I hear about mostly his issue is which I think our coach can work with him on is making dumb decisions sometimes. He does that, which all quarterbacks, but he seems to make more than others. Not Fitzpatrick level, but he's done some.
Yeah.
And I've also heard there's some off field, like he's kind of standoffish, but that was what initially was spoken. Then since those rumors came out, like 20 people have come to his defense saying, no, he's a good dude. Right. So I don't know what that means. I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I think I would rather have Carson Wentz at this stage in their careers over Matt Ryan.
I would suggest just go ahead and just do stopgaps for another good 5-6 years. And I'm only saying that because the generation that's coming up, dude, I don't know what we've put into the milk at school or what's going on. We're bringing up super soldiers. I met a 14-year-old the other day, and I'm not making this up. It was my friend's son's friend.
Yeah,
it's like Zareth or something. I can't remember his name exactly. I literally came up to his chin.
Wow.
It's not very often that I stand under someone and look up to them, and he was 14.
Wow. I remember. I think it's already starting because there was at the combine this year. There was a offensive lineman. I don't remember his name, but he was a huge dude. He's like 340 or something. I mean, he's got some poundage on him. That dude ran a 440 faster than the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Like, if you take Patrick Mahomes' 440...
I think I saw that 440. I think I saw him doing that
Not that
quick run.
Patrick Mahomes is known as... he's a great quarterback. I'm not going to put... We don't think of him as a burner, per se. But, I mean, he's got some mobility. But an offensive lineman that's 340 pounds ran his 440 faster than Patrick Mahomes. That's crazy.
It was quite the feat.
I wonder if they can stop as quick because once you get 340 pounds going,
you got to install a parachute at that point.
Saying, that just don't stop. That don't stop on a dime.
Can you imagine though? You just deploy a parachute and you get pulled.
Yeah, you got to get some inertia to slow that sucker down.
You get whiplash from your own speed and momentum.
But man,
that's pretty impressive. I got to say.
I'm thinking a guy that fast.
I don't know what's going on, man. And they've made this joke for generations that the generation before, after us they seem to be bigger or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, granted, I'm a big boy by some people's standards, but that's a big dude.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm a coach, I'm like, this guy runs that fast. Forget the bus. We got the aircraft carrier coming through now, and if this guy's that fast and he's 340 pounds. Ain't no linebacker going to stop that train.
I'm just saying, I'm 37. This kid is 14 and in 7th grade. And I actually felt compelled to give him my cocktail fruit. Like, just to slide it across on a tray. Yes, sir. I don't want no harm. I don't want no problem.
Oh, man. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. By the way, that guy that probably runs fast, my problem making him a running back, he probably can do it once, and then he's spent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He can do that 30 times a day.
That's the beauty of football. You only have to do it, once, and then you can break for 20 seconds, catch your wind, and then do it again.
Running backs get beat up, man. Yeah. I don't want to be one of them. But I don't know, man. You'd have I'd call him the aircraft carrier, because that would make the bus look like a VW bug. If you had a 350-pound
the double-decker bus. What do you call those? The omnibus? No, that was the company. You know what? I'll get R&D on it.
All right, we'll get some work on that. We'll get you updated with the weather here in just a few minutes. Spoiler, bad today, better later in the week. Here in just a few minutes, about about 9:15 or so. We're going to have James Tucker and Troy Thompson join us here from Celebrate Recovery. Of course, we'll talk a little bit about Celebrate Recovery and what they do, but want to invite everyone out to a free event here on April 2nd at Grace Community Church, a night of hope and inspiration with Hosanna Wong. That's going to be taking place Saturday, April 2nd at 4 p.m. We'll talk more about that event and play a little clip for you with those guys here in just a little bit. Later on, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety, along with Town Hall Wall Street update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do any of that, though, let's take a look at that weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We may get a few clouds off and on today behind a cold front that came through earlier. We will be a little on the cool side with our afternoon high staying in the mid-50s, and the wind will be gusty all day. For the overnight hours, some clouds and down to the low 30s, and then we'll start warming back up on Wednesday. Lots of sun and our high in the low 60s, 70s Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 46 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 44%. Winds currently out of the north at 9 miles per hour. Patchy blowing dust. Could see some of that today. Mostly cloudy for the most part. High of 53 today, so not a whole lot of warming up either. Winds are going to be breezy out of the north 20. Could see gusts as high as 30 miles per hour today. Tonight, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 34. Winds will be out of the northwest 15 to 20. Those will drop down 5 to 10 after midnight tonight. Wednesday, a smidge warmer, mostly sunny, 61 for a high with north winds 10 to 20. Tomorrow night, mostly clear, overnight low of 30. Once again, northwest winds 15 to 20, dropping down 5 to 10 after midnight. Thursday, warming up nicely, sunny and 77. Winds calming down as well out of the west, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Another wonderful day on Friday, mostly sunny, highs in the 80s, 81 on Friday. And even warmer for your weekend, sunny on Saturday with a high of 85, mostly sunny Sunday with a high of 87. So don't like today, don't worry, it'll change here pretty quick. All right, it is 9:15. We're going to take about a 3.5-minute break, and then on the other side we'll have James and Troy from Celebrate Recovery join us. Don't go away.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else. Or the frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
If your tires are flat, need your car fixed, our reviews are better than mixed at Big O. At Big O Tires. We do the job fast and with a smile. Whatever the problem, we go the extra mile at Big O. At Big O Tires. Trusted service, no need to lie. Hop online, our reviews are high at Big O. At Big O Tires. Unbeatable service in all our stores. That's why we get such high scores at Big O. At Big O Tires.
You can trust the team at Big O Tires for great service and even better deals. Come in today and save up to $100 instantly on select in-stock sets of Cooper, Nitto, and Pirelli brand tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra, required on all 4 tires. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. Not valid with other offers. Valid at participating locations. Expires 3/27/2022.
The Valley Cafe is now open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Located inside the 180 Youth Building across from Church on the Move on Brasher in Roswell. Enjoy soups, salads, sandwiches, burgers, and more. Try one of their signature creations like the Sweet and Spicy Burger with honey jalapeno bacon barbecue sauce, the chicken cordon bleu soup, Chef Anthony Noble's fried avocados, and the Smotherman Burger with creamy green chili sauce. Or swing by for coffee or breakfast burritos on your way to work. The all-new Valley Cafe, open Monday through Friday, 7 to 3. Stop in for breakfast, lunch, or even a snack after school. Don't feel like leaving home? Order takeout from DoorDash.
This time of year, we all like to have fun talking about four-leaf clovers, rabbit's feet, and the luck of the Irish. But when it comes to finding a nice pre-owned vehicle you can really count on, you need more than just luck. You need a dealer like Roswell Ford. Here at the Tailgate Nation, we have the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in southeastern New Mexico. Great looking late model pickups, SUVs, sports cars, and family sedans. But more important than how they look is how they run, so Roswell Ford puts every one through a rigorous 139-point inspection. On top of that, Roswell Ford gives you a 3-day money-back guarantee, so if you find something you don't like, you can just bring it back. That's a lot more than luck. That's true peace of mind. And if you really have a nice car or truck you'd like to sell, please bring it by. We'll look it over and make you an offer on the spot. So when you're ready to move up to a newer vehicle, don't take chances. Come see your friends at Roswell Ford, the Tailgate Nation, at the corner of 9th and Main, and leave your rabbit's foot at home.
The Fergalicious boys can keep you hot this winter. Fergalicious. Oh yeah, it's getting cold out there, and Fergie's Plumbing and Heating has what you need to keep things hot in your home. They can come by and winterize your pipes and check your insulation, and you know they'll do it with nothing but love. Oh yeah, baby. Call the Fergalicious boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating at 622-2660. When you need it hot, Fergie's is on the job. Fergalicious.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Linen can absorb up to 20 times its weight in moisture before it feels damp. Now, you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom anymore. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Celebrate Recovery, James Tucker back with us. Not Jim, but James. I've done that. I didn't do it this time.
Yes.
I nailed it. I got it right this time. And Troy Thompson as well. Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing today?
Doing awesome.
Good deal. How's your dad doing, by the way? I'm sure he's been busy with all this weather and stuff we've been having.
The spotter classes.
Yeah. For folks you don't know, James's dad, Jim, is a Skywarn weather coordinator for Chavez County. And if you want to learn about weather or know anything about weather, his dad's the guy. And ham radio, too, by the way. That's
ham radio.
His dad and their group there, they've been doing a lot of cool stuff over there. Yes. So if you get into that, stop James at the event we're talking about, and he'll tell you how to get a hold of his dad. But before we talk about the event on April 2nd, let's just give folks a little bit of an intro or at least an introduction if they're not familiar with Celebrate Recovery. I mean, I think a lot of people understand it's what they do, but don't realize the depth and the broadness of what Celebrate Recovery is. So maybe we should start there, just kind of give a little explanation.
All right. Well, Celebrate Recovery is not just for people with alcohol or drug addictions. Like my wife has found help with anxiety and depression and your fears, worry, pride.
Sure.
You name it, and you can find respite through Jesus Christ through Celebrate Recovery.
And at the end of the day, when we talk about addiction, what we're really talking about is what's causing the peril in your life to you to turn to those things to be addictive. So when we talk about someone that's addicted to drugs or alcohol or any vice, gambling, whatever it is, they're trying to fill a void. They're trying to fill a hole. Something is missing in their life. We think it's God in some of these things. So when you talk about your wife and things, you're not treating addiction per se. You're treating why this person is turning to those things. So it makes perfect sense. Mm-hmm. You know, your wife didn't have an alcohol or drug problem, but she's dealing with depression, anxiety, all these things that alcoholics, drug dealers are dealing with, except for, seeking help, they choose to go to a bottle or the needle to fix that pain.
And previously, like myself, we both turned to alcohol as that was like the symptom of what the underlying problems were.
Yeah.
And that's how we found respite through alcohol.
Yeah, and I think that's why like programs like Celebrate Recovery and really any faith-based program has a better success rate than, say, a traditional take you to rehab, get you physically off the addiction, because that's all they're doing. They're giving you off the physical symptoms. They're not treating the problem. In essence, they're putting a Band-Aid on it.
Right.
And they're not going after the root cause of why it's bleeding in the first place.
Yeah.
And that's where Celebrate Recovery and faith-based programs come in. It's like, we understand you're addicted to something, but that's not the problem here. The problem is you're missing something in your life, and we're here to help you find that.
Right.
And at the end of the day, that's why Celebrate Recovery has success, where maybe someone that goes to a judge-ordered traditional medical-style rehab facility doesn't have the success numbers that, say, a faith-based program
No,
does.
and I've been down that route.
Yeah.
I went to Alcoholics Anonymous back in 2005 to 2010, but I did not have Jesus Christ as my Lord, my higher power, and I end up going back out.
Yeah,
and just this time around with my wife and I both, she had 8 years yesterday. I had 8.5 years yesterday.
Congratulations!
And with Jesus Christ as our higher power, it has been a completely different story.
Sure. And I'm going to also say, and this is where Celebrate Recovery comes in, there's strength in numbers. Right. And I'm sure because you and your wife walked this journey together, that made it a little easier for you guys.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Exponentially.
Yeah.
And that was all part of God's plan.
And Celebrate Recovery is the same way. Okay, maybe you don't have a spouse or a brother or sister or something to come with you, but once you're there, you're amongst your people. You know what I mean? That's what, and you're amongst people that have walked the same paths you've walked, that have done the same, some of the, if not the same, very similar, and understand where you're coming from. It's not coming from a place of judgment. It's coming from a place of welcome to the family. Let's help you get right like we're getting right. Exactly. And that's and here's the thing. I also want to say the journey never ends.
No,
it's just like life. Yeah. We're always trying to get better. We're always trying to learn something new, be better people, and that's a lifetime process. And this is no different here. Yeah. You once you're on the path, it's a struggle to stay on, and that's where Celebrate Recovery helps you stay on that path. Helps you, when you have those moments of weakness. Now you've got an outlet and a place of people and information that you can go to help you navigate through it, as opposed to your previous options or choices of trying to rectify a problem.
Right.
And that's, at the end of the day, that's what Celebrate Recovery does, is that fellowship, that bringing people close to God, and at the end of the day, helping them walk that path and helping them use these tools to make them better people. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So, through God.
Right. And James and I have two completely different stories, but they're very similar. And two different locations.
Sure.
Ours was in Iowa. His is here in New Mexico. But the finer lines of the story is very similar.
Yeah, and really that's
how we have become.
And
so
I think
close.
that's the case for everybody. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Semantics may be different. You know, the details, what you've done, maybe slightly different, but the feelings, the path, it's all the same. It really is the same. We all share this planet together. We all breathe and sleep and live in the same air here. We all share experiences. I don't care what culture you're from, where you come from on this planet, we all have shared experiences, and really how we go through them is the same.
Exactly.
That being said, would love to, and we've got an event coming up, and please, I want to make this clear. This is not just an event for people struggling with addiction or wanting to be a Celebrate Recovery. This is an event for anybody that wants to get closer to God. That's what this event's all about: motivation, inspiration, and sharing God's message. If you happen to be as a member of Celebrate Recovery or needing those kind of help, by all means, please come join us. But also understand, this isn't limited to that. This is, if you want a closer connection to God, then that's all the reason you need to be here on April 2nd. So tell us a little bit about this event happening on April 2nd.
Okay, well, Hosanna Wong, she's an international author or spoken word artist.
Yes.
And she's a pastor at East Lake Church in San Diego.
Okay.
And she's really big. She's a product of Celebrate Recovery. She grew up in the streets of San Francisco. I'm not going to give away a lot of her.
She'll explain those for story.
She's going to give her testimony on April 2nd.
But she struggled.
She struggled with a bunch of things, and like I said, I'll wait till you got to show up to see her story.
Sure.
But she's amazing. She's a co-host of Better Together on TBN in the mornings.
Okay.
She just released a new book called How Not to Save the World, because she just at the beginning of her ministry, she packed her suitcase, got in the car, and just traveled the country, and not knowing really where God was taking her. She knew she was being called to ministry and lead to people to Jesus Christ. She didn't exactly know how to do it, and she did a lot of things the hard way.
Gotcha.
And that's what.
So she's learned lessons.
Oh yeah.
And probably learned them a lot harder than maybe we needed to.
Right.
And now she's sharing those experiences, so we don't have to learn the same lessons as hard.
Exactly. And she so her new book, How Not to Save the World, it teaches, explains how she did, so we don't have to do it.
Right.
The greatest teacher I think is pain, but maybe there is other people's pain.
Sure.
Struggles.
You don't have to learn directly through your own pain.
Right.
If you can receive that reminder or wake up call, depending on how you look at it, through someone else's story, and that's what Hosanna is really presenting.
Right.
She's been down this path, and she has. And I watched the clip here, and I've seen some other stuff with her, and what she does really well is instill the passion, instill it's almost to get you excited about being a reminder, because life is hard, and then when you get hit with enough stuff, at some point that takes a toll on your psyche. It takes a toll on and certainly the last 3 years of the world we've lived in with COVID and war and Lord knows what else is going on right now. We could definitely use a reminder and someone to say, you know what, for every bad thing you're seeing right now, there's something much bigger and greater out there if you just keep your eye on the prize and remember. Remember back to the core sometimes a little bit. It's so easy to get confused in this world with so much going on that, sometimes we've got to be reminded what love in life is all about. And be reminded of that. And I think April 2nd with Hosanna is one of those events for people to remind folks.
I would go so far as say, even if you don't think it is your deal, you should come check it out.
Yeah,
because you might hear something that you never thought you were going to hear.
Sure, a different perspective.
And the way that she does her spoken word stuff, man, it'll hit you right in your chest.
Yeah,
it'll get you.
It's one thing to see it on YouTube, because you can look her up on YouTube and you can turn it up on the surround sound and just really but until you've
been in the room
and see her and the passion that she presents these spoken word pieces in, it's a game changer.
It's all about energy, I think, and you can watch something and really at the end of the day, your only energy you're feeding is what she's providing from the video and what you're feeling from that.
Right.
Whereas if you're in the room where it's going on, you get the added level of the feeling of the crowd, the people around you, and I don't care when you're in a room with a bunch of happy people.
Yeah.
You're going to be happy after. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Even if you're in a bad mood and you're in a bunch of room with happy, that kind of rubs off on you a little bit. And so I think that adds to that a little bit where you can get distracted by just watching a video at home. The dog barks, kids want something. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And so you get in and out of things. We're all here for the same thing, and so there's no lull. It's just building, and then by the time you get out of there, you're probably ready to run through a wall and say, I'm ready to celebrate life again.
Right. And one of her spoken word pieces is "I Have a New Name," and she a lot of her emphasis is on because we've let the world define who we are for a long time. For a long time, I was an addict. I was a junkie. I stuck needles in my arms. That's what I did. That's what identified me. But her spoken word piece, "I Have a New Name," it just gives example after example of what God thinks of us. He calls us a friend. He calls us a child of God. Our body is the holy temple of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And it's amazing the things that we've let.
And if you guys don't feel comfortable asking us, tell me no. But I'm just curious. You were talking there, and it kind of spawned an idea or question. For you guys on the road to recovery here, was the biggest part getting your family and friends to kind of get back to having a relationship with you, or was it convincing yourself that you know what I mean? Like you just said, I identified myself as an addict and this and that. And so when your brain says that, you got to be thinking, well, I'm no good. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's so I got to wonder, what was the bigger hurdle? Convincing your own self that you're a good person, or going back and convincing relationships you burned in the past? I'm just curious. And I'm very curious what for your experience on that.
It's funny that you asked this, because another gentleman asked us last night almost the same question, worded a little bit differently.
Yeah.
It was, when did you feel that you were worthy of God's grace again? And for me, my family fell like right in line as soon as I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with all that. I'm staying sober. And even though I had done it before and let them down, they were right there to support me. But it took a while for me to have that feeling within me that I was worthy of God's grace.
Yeah.
And the reason I love Hosanna Wong's I Have a New Name so much is because along my journey, and reading through the book of Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and John, the Holy Spirit had pressed it on me because coming from previous Alcoholic Anonymous type
other programs,
I would always refer to myself as, hi, my name is Troy, I am blah blah blah,
I'm an alcoholic or whatever it is.
And God was like, that's not your name. That's not who you are anymore. And after he's just reiterated that over and over and over again. So I will say, that I have struggled with alcohol.
Sure.
And I've struggled with drugs, but that's not what defines me. That's not who I am, because God has given me a new name.
Yeah.
And I could talk to you for hours about James Miller, about all the things that God's done in my life.
When you told me that, when you said, when I was labeled myself, I'm an addict, it just triggered in my head. It's like, well, what's the harder part? Getting other people to convince, or you yourself? And it is you.
And
yourself.
we talked about this too on our Monday night groups, where my struggle was the mess, and was whatever with women, and when I quit, I guess calling myself that, and when you start talking about it, it loses power over the shame and the guilt, and then so whenever
I get what you're saying. I get, because I think it also translates to other aspects of life. You look at, and surely does, it's God's plan, but when you look at like people that want, humanity wants to be victims sometimes. And I don't agree with that mindset, but I think we almost live in a society where it's acceptable to play that role, or to want to be like, we're supposed to, that's a good thing to be a victim. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not. I mean, I understand people are done wrong and they're hurt by that, but at the same time, to be proud of that moniker, to say no, I don't think that's right, because now you're giving into what other people think of you, and what other, like, now you're buying into the fact that people are telling you you're not as good as other people, and I mean, we talk race relations, all the things that humanity we deal with. I think there's something to all that right there in that statement, but in essence, it's so much in recovery too. If you guys aren't willing to forgive yourself and say, you know what, I'm not an addict anymore. I'm a good human being, and I need to tell myself that. And I get what I think the reminder is for alcoholism. They're always saying, don't forget, you're always fall off that wagon.
Always,
yes, that's true. But you don't have to identify yourself as
right.
that.
And I always hear once an addict, always an addict, which I think is garbage.
Yeah. I get the sentiment, and you're right. We need to be aware that you could relapse.
Right.
However, that doesn't define you as a human being.
That is not who you are.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I like that message, and you're right. It's time to kind of alter that. Be humble, be mindful of what your weaknesses are, but at the same time, they don't define who you are as a human being.
Exactly.
It's the other things.
There was an old gentleman in Alcoholics Anonymous who would always say, "You can't turn a pickle back into a cucumber," and that would always resonate in my head. And then one night, I was watching the Chosen series, and it was like, well, Jesus could turn a pickle right back into a cucumber. He can turn water into wine.
Sure, that's the power of God.
He can turn me from an alcoholic into a father, a husband, a upright citizen.
It's all about faith.
That's
just
right.
Believe in it and believe and have that faith, and that's what happens, and that's Christianity.
That just that change in my mindset is what was like the flipping of the switch, the turning point.
So I would love to invite people to come out. Tanner, get ready here. I'm going to get a clip going here. I just want to give you the 3-second heads up here. But April the 2nd, 4 p.m., come on out. Hosanna Wong, she's going to be speaking. What's it, about an hour and a half?
About an hour and 45 minutes.
Okay.
But it's going to be praise and it's not just, she's doing 3 spoken word pieces.
Okay.
But it's praise and it's going to be a lot of praise and worship.
Gotcha.
Just spending time in the presence and worship.
Yeah. And some music too, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we got the praise and worship team from Grace.
Deal.
We're going to,
so it's as inspiring, it'll be entertaining as is inspiring.
Yeah.
So
James will be on drums.
You're on drums, huh?
Yeah.
You can do wipeout solos, or what are we doing?
Our praise and worship pastor, my
28-minute of Inagata Davida.
All right. like the guitar guys. You start playing Stairway and everyone stops you. You start on drums and then you go, no, he'll be doing other songs. There.
Yeah.
No, he might do requests afterwards. You just got to hang out and see.
Maybe.
But the real star of the night will be Hosanna Wong, and she's coming to town for a one afternoon only opportunity to hear her in person. Good news is it doesn't cost you one dime. It's a free event. It's all happening at Grace Community Church there, 935 West Mescalero, if you're not familiar. There in the big auditorium there at the church there. Come be a part. Come listen. And let me. You ready, Tanner? Just stick a thumbs up out the door there if you're good to go. He's slow moving sometimes. There is the thumb. All right. Very good. We're going to play a little clip. It's kind of just a sample of her speaking and just give you an idea of what you're going to hear on April 2nd here. So here is Hosanna Wong. Enjoy.
John 15:15. He calls me friend. 1 Thessalonians 1:4, he calls me chosen. Ephesians 2:10, he calls me his workmanship. He calls me his art. He calls me handmade. He calls me purposed and fashioned for good things. 1 Corinthians 6:19, he calls my body a temple. He calls it the residence of the Holy Spirit. Acts 1:8, he calls me his messenger to the world. Galatians 3:26, he calls me his child. Romans 5:8, he calls me greatly loved. John 8:36, he calls me free indeed. 2 Corinthians 5:17, he calls me brand new. And it's amazing how different these names are from the names I'm used to listening to. That's my name, God's temple. That's my name, God's messenger. That's my name.
Beginning for the radio folks because I jacked it up. Tanner was good and I'm the dummy. I should have gave a thumbs up to myself.
John 15:15, he calls me friend. 1 Thessalonians 1:4, he calls me chosen. Ephesians 2:10, he calls me his workmanship. He calls me his art. He calls me handmade. He calls me purposed and fashioned for good things. 1 Corinthians 6:19, he calls my body a temple. He calls it the residence of the Holy Spirit. Acts 1:8, he calls me his messenger to the world. Galatians 3:26, he calls me his child. Romans 5:8, he calls me greatly loved. John 8:36, he calls me free indeed. 2 Corinthians 5:17, he calls me brand new. And it's amazing how different these names are from the names I'm used to listening to.
You know,
God's temple.
Sorry, I played it again there for our folks here on the radio. She's she's been through a lot, but she looks like a relatively young lady. I'm guessing she started young with some of her.
I believe so. I think in her book it describes her being in a park in San Francisco and witnessing a murder.
Okay.
That happened, and she was 9 at the time. So So she started early, but
she lived hard early.
Yeah. So and it talks about the struggles with her dad in Bernal Heights, which is a district in San Francisco.
Okay.
And it's just. Read the book. We'll have the book.
Okay, so you can get a copy of her book at the event.
Oh yeah.
I imagine is she going to be signing copies?
She'll be doing book signing.
Very cool. So. Very cool. And then of course at book signs you get a chance to talk and meet and greet. And I'm sure she loves to hear those stories too. And people that go on the road and are giving their testimony and giving their story and sharing their experiences, they equally thrive, I think, on some of the stories that she gets back.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Stories of struggle that she hears, and hopefully they come out on the other side by hearing some of her message or their own experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine too that probably works into her own message that she shares. When you feed her your stories and your experiences, that's examples and ammo for her to help the next group too, as much as her own experiences. But I think we need others. We can't live in this world by ourselves and our own experiences. We need the help of each other and other people to kind of make that connection. And I think that's where she probably gets some of that. And feeding her own soul is talking to these folks and things. Because I guarantee she's taken as much out of this as she's giving. You know what I mean? Especially someone like her who's now basically walked this path, hit a bottom, and has come back and is a phoenix now and really taken that message to the world here. That kind of thing, when she has her bad days, hearing stories of change probably turns her around and things like that too. So I imagine for her, this is just as much her own testimony for herself as it is a testimony to us. You know what I mean? And so that's what I love about it. There's you hear them saying you practice what you preach. She's practicing what she preaches here, and that's what I like about it. So put it on your calendars, April 2nd. By the way, that's like in 2 weeks. By the way,
13 days.
I feel like it's a month away, but it really isn't. No. It's in 2 weeks. Again, Saturday, April 2nd, 4 p.m. at Grace Community Church there on Mescalero, 935 West Mescalero. Free event. Doesn't cost a dime. I imagine if you want to bring a love offering, you're more than welcome to help celebrate recovery of the church.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But you're by no means any obligations or don't feel bad if you can't. Yeah, I don't care if you don't have 2 pennies to rub together. It doesn't matter. Come on down.
Come enjoy.
It's about the message. It's about, because at the end of the day, this might be that moment that turns your path into saying, you know what, it's time for a change. It's time for me to make a concerted effort to be closer to God. And that's what, it's not even about drinking or alcohol or addiction or any of those things. It's about strengthening your relationship with God. That's what April 2nd is all about. So if you're struggling with dependency, if you're just struggling because that's life, then you're more than welcome to come. Or if you're not struggling at all, you just want, just hear the message and reinforce what you already know, then please come on out and be a part of that. Share your story. Yeah. Maybe you're one of the people that have listened and been down the path, and now you're in a good place. Maybe you can use this event to help others by sharing your experiences with them at the event. Because I imagine, as much as everyone's there to hear Hosanna, there's just as much knowledge and information and in the fellowship amongst the people, in the audience, and that's what Celebrate Recovery is about. There wouldn't be a group called Celebrate Recovery if you could do it on your own.
And there'll be Celebrate Recovery groups from all over the state. This is kind of a New Mexico Celebrate Recovery event. So we've had a church from Las Cruces, Real Life Church in Las Cruces.
Good.
Help with the funding to get her here.
I would imagine too. Yeah, this is because it's a unique treat to have her come to New Mexico. We're probably getting a lot of out of Roswell town folks that are coming from other parts of the area to see her
Lubbock,
speak.
El Paso, Colorado Springs.
Folks that aren't willing to travel to San Fran to go and see what she has to say. So very good.
It's going to be a big weekend. And I said this the other day, but I really think God is doing something big here in southeast New Mexico, because this is not the only big name that's going to be in town. I don't want to throw anybody off because I want them to come to our thing.
Yeah.
But God is making it very ample opportunities to speak into people's lives.
Sure.
And Hosanna is just one of those, an event that's going on.
Based on the world we live in right now, probably needed.
Yeah.
It's always needed, probably a little more so right now. Just the way humanity is feeling right now. We could use a hug from God now, I think.
For sure.
Also, I want to give an opportunity. Celebrate Recovery.
Yes.
You guys meet weekly Friday nights. Give that information, and of course, anyone's invited to come to the Friday meetings as well too.
We meet every Friday night at 5:00 we have a meal, and then after the meal, we'll have a worship, and then either a testimony or the lesson whatever lesson we are working through that week.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we have an open share group. Women go with women and men go with men.
Okay.
And we have childcare. We have excellent childcare program.
And by the way, there'll be childcare available for this event on April 2nd as well. So
in order to secure your spot, because we have a limited number.
Gotcha.
So you need to call the church office, speak with Valerie.
Make arrangements.
Get
Very
your spot.
But no problem to handle it. Just make arrangements.
Just
call
make
ahead.
arrangements.
Yeah.
Because like you said, if we get 1,000 people there, and that's a lot of kids.
Oh yeah, we got it.
I mean, and if all 1,000 needed a babysitter, then it might be a little hairy there. But I don't. But so just call ahead here too. And of course, like you said, coming out to the meetings each Friday night for that. So you guys, the meeting starts at 7. Y'all start at 6 or 5 for
5
dinner?
for the meal.
5 for the meal.
And 6 for the
large.
That's right. I got a new one, so the one I wrote 6 on, and I just
we did change. It did used to start later, but
well, I wrote it on this one, but I got to plan, and when I'm talking to people, I do this, and I wore all the stuff off, so I can't. I'm a 7-year-old. Sorry. So I had to get a new one, but I didn't have the change to see. Well, it is kind of there, so you can kind of see I scratched out both 6 on there. But anyway, come out and that, again, that's open to anyone. If you're coming through, even if you not necessarily think you're addicted to something, you're just missing God in your life. Come out to the Friday meetings. Come early, 5 o'clock, get a meal, and then join us for fellowship at 6. And that's every Friday at Grace Community Church there. And you guys meet in the Children's Building there at Grace Community Church. So, but again, April 2nd, Grace Community Church, 4 p.m., Hosanna Wong will be your featured speaker at this amazing afternoon of God, of celebrating God. That's, at the end of the day, what it's all about. If anybody has any questions, of course, I know there's a Celebrate Recovery Roswell Facebook page. You can always shoot a question if you've got any, whether it's about the Friday night meetings or the event on April 2nd. Is there a better way or a different way that you would like people to get a hold of us too?
You can call the church office, speak with Barry or Valerie.
Okay.
Or we have cr@roswellgrace.com is our email address.
And the phone number of the church is 575-623-5438. You can call over there. So. Good
and
deal.
We get a lot of referrals from the church through their connection card, people wanting to know more about Celebrate Recovery.
Well, and that's, people come from all walks of life places, so how they find you doesn't matter. They're just going to find you. Exactly. Is there anything we missed? Anything you guys wanted to share that we just skipped over and didn't get a chance to talk about?
No.
Good deal.
Covered it.
Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike, for having us.
Congratulations on your own celebrations and your path here. We're very happy to see you guys are proof in the pudding. Celebrate Recovery is
James just had 5 years.
Yeah,
he didn't
congratulations.
Want to say that.
Congratulations.
Just had 5 years.
He's going to celebrate with a drum solo on April 1st.
Maybe.
I'm gonna have to tell him.
I'm kind of putting you on the hook. They're going to demand one at this point.
Right.
I'll clue him who Iron Butterfly is.
There you go. You'll get him. You'll get him.
I got the album at home.
Age appropriate up and everything.
Right.
These youngins. Thank you guys. Appreciate
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
We'll see y'all next time. Okay. All right. It's 9:50. Time for some news and some commercials to pay for my lunch before we go. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Sorello. Thanks for joining us this hour. We begin with a developing story in Eddy County. A shooting investigation underway in the county east of Artesia. Emergency crews responded about 11 a.m. Monday to a property off Sundown Trail about 10 miles east of Artesia off U.S. Highway 82. However, at this point, few details are known, including a motive for the incident. The Eddy County Sheriff also, so far, not giving any information about a possible suspect or any possible arrests. Effective immediately when people donate life-saving blood through Vitalant, they can also learn if they have antibodies for COVID-19. They can also find out if their plasma can be used to help COVID patients with weakened immune system. For a limited time, all donations will be tested and results will be available in donors' online accounts about 2 weeks later. To find out more about donating blood and plasma, visit Vitalant.org or call 877-25-VITAL. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
If you want to look at the Reagan Doctrine, actually, this is often noted, quote from Reagan, it's considered to be the Reagan Doctrine. We can't play innocence abroad in a world that's not innocent, nor can we be passive when freedom is under siege. Without resources, diplomacy cannot succeed. Our security assistance programs helps friendly governments defend themselves and give them confidence to work for peace. We must not break faith with those who are risking their lives to defy Soviet-supported aggression and secure rights which have been ours from birth. And it's, the belief in natural rights endowed by our Creator. It's not just us, it's every human being, and the natural breath for freedom that every human being has.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
If your family depends on your income and something happened to you, what would happen to them? You need life insurance, and SelectQuote can help you get it at a price you can afford.
SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, who's in excellent health, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $19 a month.
Not in perfect health? Don't worry.
SelectQuote found Tanya, 40, who has type 2 diabetes, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $32 a month.
We shop companies like Protective, Prudential, American General, and others to find you the company with the best rates. Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford. For your free quote, call 1-800-350-8989. That's 1-800-350-8989. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-350-8989. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We may get a few clouds off and on today behind a cold front that came through earlier. We will be a little on the cool side with our afternoon high staying in the mid-50s, and the wind will be gusty all day. For the overnight hours, some clouds and down to the low 30s, and then we'll start warming back up on Wednesday. Lots of sun and our high in the low 60s, 70s Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Hey, let's catch you up on some baseball from over the weekend. Congratulations to the NMMI Colts. They're off to a great start. 7-0 now after defeating Loving in the championship of the Hal Boggle tournament in Dexter. Final score, NMMI 13, Loving zip. NMMI started off that tournament by beating the host school, Dexter, 11-0 on Thursday, then beat Tularosa Friday by a score of 5-2. You know what? NMMI also played yesterday. They knocked off Capitan 4-3, and Norberto Valencia and Miguel Rivera both had RBI doubles in that one. Goddard was in the Artesia tournament over the weekend after knocking off Clovis in the opening round. The Rockets then fell to Carlsbad 4-1 in the semifinals before turning around beating Los Alamos 6-5 on Saturday. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street opened sharply higher this morning. The advance comes despite Fed Chairman Jerome Powell declaring the central bank set to move more aggressively to contain inflation, raising the specter of rate hikes exceeding 25 basis points. Thousands of Southern and Central California grocery store workers voting on whether to authorize a strike.
About 47,000 workers at more than 500 Ralph's, Albertsons, Vons, and Pavilion stores are eligible to vote, and results are expected to be released on Sunday. The possible strike would involve grocery clerks, meat cutters, pharmacists, and pharmacy technicians. Negotiations ended without agreement before the latest 3-year contract expired this month.
That's correspondent Ron DeRockstra. An agreement between Canadian Pacific Railway and the Teamsters Union ending a 2-day work stoppage by the Canadian rail workers. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
This time of year, we all like to have fun talking about 4-leaf clovers, rabbit's feet, and the luck of the Irish. But when it comes to finding a nice pre-owned vehicle you can really count on, you need more than just luck. You need a dealer like Roswell Ford. Here at the Tailgate Nation, we have the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in southeastern New Mexico. Great-looking late-model pickups, SUVs, sports cars, and family sedans. But more important than how they look is how they run, so Roswell Ford puts every one through a rigorous 139-point inspection. On top of that, Roswell Ford gives you a 3-day money-back guarantee, so if you find something you don't like, you can just bring it back. That's a lot more than luck. That's true peace of mind. And if you really have a nice car or truck you'd like to sell, please bring it by. We'll look it over and make you an offer on the spot. So when you're ready to move up to a newer vehicle, don't take chances. Come see your friends at Roswell Ford, the Tailgate Nation, at the corner of 9th and Main, and leave your rabbit's foot at home.
Hey, this is Dr. Keon Egger at Carabelli Dental in Roswell. Our office is passionate about creating beautiful, long-lasting smiles. But here's the thing. Sometimes that means dentures. And that's not a bad thing. These aren't your grandma's dentures. We combine artistry and the latest technology to create beautiful, natural-looking teeth. If you are in southeastern New Mexico and you have dentures or are considering dentures, you need to come visit us at Carabelli Dental.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 622-4455.
Where can you find the best selection of beautiful and unique home decor in the region? Easy, Casa Decor in Ruidoso. For years, people from all over have come to Casa Decor for the best selection of rustic, real wood furniture, beautiful decor from the Southwest and beyond, and quality outdoor furniture and accessories that are built to last a lifetime. At Casa Decor, they have over 10,000 square feet of showroom for everything you need. Casa Decor opens 7 days a week from 9:30 to 5 at 1214 Meacham Drive in Ruidoso or online at casadecorruidoso.com. Proud supporter of local high school sports.
There's a whole universe out there. Come explore at the International UFO Museum and Research Center, featuring engaging exhibits and in-depth first-hand accounts of the incident that put Roswell on the map. The research library features the most comprehensive collection of UFO research materials in the world, and you can get exclusive one-of-a-kind gifts and merch from the gift shop or online at roswellufomuseum.com. Don't forget about the UFO Festival, July 1st through 3rd, celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Roswell incident. The International UFO Museum and Research Center. It's otherworldly.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
No static at all. Your new home for talk radio is KEND Roswell.
And it's about time for us to wrap things up. It's 10 o'clock. Thank you very much for allowing us to be a part of your day. If you missed any part of the show, you can go back and check it out at your leisure, ksvptv.com. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow with an all-new show. Till then, take care, everybody. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND